Welcome, everybody, to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your good friend, Mr. BDA, and I'm glad to have everybody on board for this one. Flying solo for tonight, but you know how we do that. Bucho did a lot of shows this week, so he's taking a bit of a night off, evening off. He might join us later on, I'm not sure, but there will be other people joining us. Of course, we got to hear from Gonzalo, recognize Stu. Speaking of Stu, I don't know if he's going to be on because he was earlier with Bucho, and the fight sort of went. You know what? Hold on a second. Before I do anything, I'm gonna send Bucho. Oh well, I can't send Bucho the link now. All right, so Bucho, if you're listening, and I know you're listening, I'm gonna send you the link as soon as I invite somebody else in here, so you can send it to Stu, or unless Stu contacts me directly on Discord. But before I do that, let's get down to the business out of the way. If you want to contribute to the show, you can do so by continuing to listen, as you always do. We can always count on your support, I hope, and hope that you click on that like button, subscribe button, and keep spreading the BDA gospel. That's about all I ask. And if you have a couple of coins, lying around under your couch, you can shekel them our way via PayPal, the super chat feature during the show, or in our Patreon page. Check out the links in the description. Now that's out of the way, let's go to the chat room. Shout out to everybody's in there. I'm talking about the Fight Scout, Nes Mendoza, Box, B-O-K-S, that is. Nes Mendoza. That's right, there's a double Mendoza. Jay Perez, Grievous, the Fight Scout, King Butch is in there as well. Buddy Aces, Pink Panther, Subash Kunwar, shout out to Subash. All Boxing Talk and News is in there as well. Check out his channel. Reality's Voice, Guerrero de la Info, Alan Domirecki, Stephen Lawler, Transnational Inc., Moving Silence, Shepherd Sons in the house as well, PED. Who else do we have here? Eric Rosas, Shepherd of Boxing, Bay Area Boxing, my girl, Bay Area, my home girl. Reese Mack is in there as well. Official Scorecard Boxing is in there as well. Shout out to Official Scorecard Boxing. L Dog, SSB28. And many more people to come, I'm sure. I'm glad to have everybody on board here. And man, what a fight we just had between Joshua and Ruiz. Quite a performance from Joshua. We're going to talk about that. Like I said, I'm going to send a link to a couple of people. Well, I'm going to invite a couple of people here so we can start a group. And then I'll try to get the link over to King Bucho, who wasn't listening, wasn't paying attention to what I said, I think. All right. Hold on a second. And by the way, guys, I want to read a couple of comments while I get things set up here. Okay, let me go back a little bit. And AA says Ruiz couldn't set his feet. Yeah, 280 pounds. Your feet are set all the time. Well, okay, hold on a second. What else was I gonna do here? Give me a second, guys. But it's true. How much are you really gonna be able to set? You can't move your feet. You can plod and if you're 280 pounds, but you can't necessarily move. I don't know what Ruiz was thinking. It's really, really surprising. Makes you wonder if he actually wanted to win this fight in the first place. I'm not sure. Again, Bucho not listening. He's still pressuring me. I just told in the beginning of the show, I was going to send him the link. All right, listen. In the meantime, we get Gonzalo on the line. Gonzalo, you there? No, I think he's back. Well, listen, while he comes back, Gonzalo, are you there? I can hear you. Okay, let me just let me just read a couple of comments from the chat room. Box says Subash AJ 3 inches. No, AJ 3 in means PBC loses the belts. Eric Grosser says, "Yep." Anytime I thought AJ was gonna left, every time I thought he was gonna go left, he went right. Yeah, he even decoyed. There was a point where he told the ref. He signaled to the ref with his right palm, "Hey, get out of the way, I'm going to the right." And then whoop, he switched to the left. So he was using the ref. He was involving the ref in his crimes. Very interesting. L Dog says, "I told you guys." I don't know what he told us, but Uncle Bernard Positive says, "Joshua shaky as to be expected at times, but great to pull that off." Jay Perez says, "AJ had great stamina. I was surprised." Eric Rosa says, "AJ footwork and stamina was the key." Reality Voice says, "Crimea River, homegirl Bay Area." Oh, come on. Is Bay Area starting her shit again? PED says Luis only wants a third fight for the money and for the burritos too that can buy. Miles Cobbett says, see what happens when you get a Rolls Royce. The Transnational Inc. says, Luis is just so unprofessional, but we did see a master running class by Joshua. I thought it was a sweet pea. First of all, I gotta correct you there. Sweet pea never ran. He moved, but he never pulled something like Mayweather's fight against Castillo or against, what's his name, Maidana in the second fight. We just got a subscription there. Miles Cobbett. Shout out to Miles Cobbett for subscribing. Anyway, listen, we'll get through the comments. Hopefully, if we get more time, I'm going to try to slow things down every once in a while to get more people here. But I see we got Gonzalo and we got Stu on the line. Gentlemen, thank you for being here. I want to start with Gonzalo because Gonzalo, I forget what your prediction was. I don't have the list. Bucho has a list, but can you remind us what your prediction was and what did you think went wrong if your prediction didn't go, or what went right if you had it correctly?
11th round TKO Andy Ruiz, but I later called Bucho and changed it to a 9th round TKO.
Oh,
Thought the size would play to his advantage, but Anthony Joshua was just that good on his feet, and he utilized that jab to where he dictated the pace. And credit to where credit is due. Congratulations to Joshua and to all his fans. And Andy Ruiz left a lot on the table. I have to take the L to where, yeah, that weight was, and he admitted it after, because he was basically being lazy. And he was controlling Manny Robles to where later he said he was training himself, kind of threw him under the bus. And, pretty much just not being as hungry as he was in the first fight.
Mm-hmm. Well, he certainly was hungry outside the ring, as evidenced by the fact that he showed up at 280 something pounds. But listen, you got to give Joshua credit here. Like you said, he was moving. He kept his stamina up. It wasn't an entertaining performance, but like I said before the fight, during the preview for this one, he had to do whatever he could to get the win in this one. Look bad here, look great in the next one. In other words, the mission was to get the titles back, and he did. So obviously, I'm not gonna give him an A+ for this type of performance, but he got the win. Also, hold on, before we continue, I just want to give a shout out to Magic Man, who donated with the super chat. Shout out to Magic Man. He says, "Great performance by AJ. He boxed circles around Ruiz. Ruiz looked slow as hell, and he couldn't cut the ring off at all. It was all very similar to Kovalev versus Alvarez too, but Ruiz can take a hell of a shot." Yeah, that's true, Magic Man. Thank you again for your contribution. And I could do without the swearing, but again, you're the one who's paying, so you get to say whatever you want. Shout out to you and for your contribution. So, yeah, but did you guys get the feeling a little bit that it could be one shot and Joshua could go down, like Canelo versus Kovalev?
You always think that, don't you, with Joshua? Especially when he went to hold. I mean, he was trying to hold Ruiz, but Ruiz was just too strong for him in the hold. He was just bullying him off and then throwing big combinations. I don't know what that noise in the background is, a bit of hissing going on. Thank you. That was Gonzalo, I think. Yeah, just far too strong hold. He was throwing big combinations. And Joshua, it looked like he could be caught at any time, but he rode that storm and he boxed beautifully. I said, I'm prepared for Joshua to stink the joint out and get the victory because his career's on the line, and that's what happened. Really, I mean, it wasn't great for us, but let's be real. Andy Ruiz took some big shots in there. Most heavyweights would have collapsed in a heap. I mean, he's just got a tremendous chin, Andy Ruiz. So it was quite a negative performance from Joshua, but I thought he boxed beautifully. The weight difference. How long have I been saying, and all of us on the BDA? Being a muscly and bulky is not the way to be in a heavyweight fight. It's just not good for you. I mean, look at the difference in his movement, his sharpness. Just a stone and a half. That's what he took off. Look at the difference. He don't pay to be this incredible Hulk muscle-bound freak.
Absolutely.
It's not a boxing physique, bro. You've got to be lean and look how good he was on his feet. Light. He had a lot of rhythm to him as well. Much more rhythm. Yes, at any time he looked like he could get knocked out, but he was hitting Ruiz with some monster shots. That Ruiz got some chin, I'll tell you.
Well, he's got about 4 chins, man, with those rolls under his chin. I think it helps him to absorb the shots or something. But all kidding aside, Stu, I'm looking at the predictions here. You said Joshua 6 round stoppage. What happened?
Yes, I did. Because I just didn't believe Joshua had that movement in him for 12 rounds, and that's what he had to do. I thought Joshua would probably put it on Ruiz in patches, but when he landed that big right hand that split Ruiz's eye, I think he could have upped the pace a little bit, up the tempo, and I think he could have got Ruiz out there. But he got to the stage where he was quite happy to win on points, and that's when he started throwing less and less. And my prediction became well off. But I thought after 6 rounds, Ruiz would take over. I just didn't expect Joshua to look so fit, to so lean, to have so much in the tank. I mean, he was so fresh at the end. I just wasn't. No one was expecting that from Joshua.
Well, I mean, we expected that game plan, but like yeah, I mean, we expected that game plan, but like we didn't expect him to be able to keep it. I mean, we weren't sure if he was going to keep it up or manage to keep it
No,
up for.
the tank would empty because we just haven't seen Joshua moving like that for that distance. I mean, he did it all 12 rounds. Never looked
That's
like he
right.
was tiring either. Looked stronger and stronger as the fight went. And I didn't expect that. I expected him to start flagging at 6 and 7, and it looked like it could be the case. But I think he got a second win, and then he was light on his feet again. Just shows pulling all that muscle around. It's not good for the tank. And I thought it was a perfect fight and weight for him. Perfect performance. Because it was about the victory. It wasn't about looking good. It was about the victory. But I thought he looked good in patches. Let's be real. Andrew Ruiz would have got knocked out if it weren't for that chin of his, because he took some big right hands and left hooks. But
Yeah.
I said before, the straight punches were going to be the key. Fight at distance, just use the straight punches. And that's all he had to do. And then hold in the pocket. And that's basically what he did. So it was the right game plan.
Yeah, and speaking of game plans, we are going to be taking phone calls later on if time permits it, so stay tuned for that. Also, want to give a shout out to Official Scorecard Boxing, who just donated via the super chat, and he says, Bay Area, always remember this. If Fury was able to beat the depression, you can do it too. Keep your head up. All right, shout out to Official Scorecard Boxing for his contribution and for his support of my homegirl, Bay Area, who's gonna need all the help she can get because apparently she was rooting for Ruiz in this one. But that's what the BDA family is all about. We're always here to help each other out. So shout out to Official Scorecard Boxing for that. Now, Stu, you mentioned something about how Joshua boxed so well, and you were expecting him to follow up, but with his shots. But I thought it was smart not to follow up, and because you did see what happened when he tried to follow up, he would hit every time
No,
he
but I
would hit
didn't mean
Luis.
follow up though, bro. What I meant was do it more often. What he was, just do it in ones and twos. I'm not saying jump in there with leading left hooks with your chin in the air. And I don't want him to get in a hook battle with Ruiz because
Mm,
he was going to come second best on mine. I wanted him to do what he was doing, just do it a bit more often. There was a lot of running at times, and wasting unnecessary energy. I think. See, he hit Ruiz early and got his respect. Ruiz thought, "Fuck me, I don't want to take another one of them," because it split his eye wide open. So
right.
that early shot he landed helped his game plan in the long run, because Ruiz was a bit cautious for a few rounds, to come in, and that's what gave Joshua the chance to build the cards. He was winning on the cards, just nicking the points. Do you know what I mean? And he built a good little lead, and then Ruiz had to come chasing him,
Hmm.
and that's when it suited him a bit more. But the straight punches were the key. I mean, he was throwing that backhand, and I'll tell you what, if it had landed on Ruiz, he would have knocked his head out the ring. But he just kept
Well,
missing them big swings. But he just kept missing them by millimeters. I mean, if he learns that on anyone, they're going to sleep. Ruiz has just got, like I said, a granite chin. It's going to take. I'm convinced Ruiz could take a Wilder shot. I'm starting to be convinced he could take a Wilder shot, because Joshua hit with clean shots and he didn't blink hardly. I mean, ridiculous chin. But just couldn't get near Joshua. Just too light on his feet, and he was keeping the distance well. The straight punches, the jab was beautiful tonight. It was getting Ruiz off his rhythm. So every time Ruiz was trying to plant his feet, he'd flick the jab out and he'd have to reset again. And he just got frustrated. He
well, you
couldn't
know
he
what?
couldn't get the right range.
Well, you know what happened though was that I think Joshua, you didn't even see the full extent of his power because he was. I mean, don't get me wrong, the shots were hard, but I don't think he wanted to go full on with the power because he was going to get countered, like we said before the fight. I mean, he exactly what Kovalev didn't want to do against Canelo Alvarez. But now here's the thing though: when Joshua did try to put more than two punches together, you could see that Ruiz was ready for that, and he was countering right away with those fast hands of his. That's why if anybody fights Ruiz, the book is out on him now. They have to keep him on the outside. They have to make him lead. Otherwise, if you get into an exchange with him, at heavyweight, there's not that many guys that can compete with his hand speed. I mean, Joseph
No,
Parker was able to do it. Maybe Uzi can do it, but other than that, these guys get good hand speed.
and that's the thing, bro. That's why you have to, like we've been saying on the BDA, we've been preaching it for months. It's not Joshua doesn't have to look good and pretty. All Joshua's got to do is fight a very Eastern European sort of style, the straight punches and hold it. But after seeing Joshua in the hold today, I think he needs to work on that because he was getting countered every time he was going into the hold, and one of them would have landed clean, all sorts of damage. So I think he needs to work on that. But I was very surprised how light he was on his feet, how quick he was getting out of distance. Ruiz just too slow, too fat, just couldn't close the distance. Just didn't have any ideas. He just came in looking for the one punch. That's what I mean with Ruiz. I said to you, let's calm down calling him number one heavyweight because I felt a Hasim Ratman. I had that feeling that it was going to be another Hasim Ratman where he'd get beat because he just hasn't taken it that serious, has he? Let's look at the shape he was in. I mean, if you want to be a dedicated champion, I mean, that shape, 283 pounds. I mean, come on now.
Well, you know what? We had Wilder a couple of weeks ago knocking out Luis Ortiz, and I think that's the story of this heavyweight division is because I mean Joshua did box well, he got the win, but it wasn't a terribly entertaining performance. Like I said, he wasn't supposed to open up too much with the combinations, but his clinching game was a little off. I mean, I thought it was very sloppy, very evident that he did something that I hate, and that I've only seen Vladimir Klitschko do this, which is why I'm not a fan of Vladimir Klitschko. Never really was. Klitschko's the only fighter that I ever saw who would feint and then go for the clinch. He would actually set up clinches with
he was
feints.
doing that, and it was getting him in trouble nearly. I
Yeah,
just want to address the shepherd of Bay, whatever his name is. Keeps calling me a clown. This guy's a fucking clown himself. Because
I think
when I
it's
was
a
when I was mentioning Ruiz and Hasim Ratman, when I was comparing, what I meant is one hit wonder. Had one punch in him, sort of thing. One decent night of boxing in him, and then piece of shit after that, rubbish. And that's what we got tonight from Ruiz. So you can call me all you like, right? I felt that was going to be the case where Ruiz just didn't want to be a champion. He's not that sort of guy. He's in it for the money. You can tell he is. That is not a guy. That is not a guy that wants to hang around boxing for too long when he's coming in that sort of shape.
Well, first of all, I think Bay Area. I think it's a she. I think I'm not sure. So I
Well,
don't.
that explains why he's such a little bitch then.
Oh, come on now. Wait a minute. I'm not going to let you disrespect our viewers
I
out
mean,
like that
go
way.
back to the kitchen and go and make me a fucking ham sandwich or something. Leave the boxing to the
Oh,
gentleman.
come on. Let's not go there. Listen, Gonzalo, what do you think? I mean, because about what Stu just said, not about Bay Area, but about Luis, because it does seem like that's always what people say, that in boxing it's harder to keep the title than it is to win it. You're a good judge of character, I think, Gonzalo, because you've been around, you've seen some combat, seen a little action. What do you think? You think Luis, it's sort of like maybe he didn't want to keep the title in this one? The pressure got to him?
I'm thinking that he just thought that he had AJ's number so well that he can repeat it just based on the fact that he is a good boxer that's been training ever since he was very young. So he's kind of like the old school mentality, even though, well, he's 30 now. Ruiz, training up in the Mexicali Desert, sparring for Mexico or as an amateur in the Olympics.
Right.
He just had like the old school, and I can relate a little to that. He thought that his style of fighting would be enough to beat a guy like Anthony Joshua. But what Anthony Joshua did well worked for him with cutting down the weight and moving around the ring and utilizing his length. It worked out for him.
I'll tell you what, I was so surprised that he shed that weight. I wasn't expecting him to come in there that light. I just wasn't. I know he looked light in training. I thought when he got on the scales, he would have been a bit heavier than that, but I just think it really suited him. It proves we're in an era now. You don't have to be 260, 270 pounds, 280 pounds and a big slob. I mean, Ruiz proved that you can have a lucky day and become world champion, but for the long run, you've got to be in decent shape. You've got to be around that 16 stone mark, which Joshua was not. And I thought it was a perfect body weight for him. And I thought his performance, yes, offensively, he wasn't active enough for me because I think he could have put it on Ruiz at times, just with the straight punches alone, and done more damage. I think he could have probably broke Ruiz's heart and got him out of there. But it was negative at times, but he did the right thing. His career was on the line, and Ruiz looked so dangerous in the pocket. Every time Joshua got close to him, man, Ruiz was throwing them combinations. You know, just one of them could have landed, and it was all over again for Joshua. So I think he played it smart. I don't know if I want to watch that fight again, to be honest with you. I don't think I want a trilogy. I think we've got to move on now, I think.
Yeah, trilogy. I mean, this ain't Star Wars, man. We don't need a trilogy. It's I can't see something else. Oh, hold on a second. Shout out to Oliver Rushton. Shout out to Oliver Rushton. Oliver, thank you for your contribution. Don't forget to leave a message so that we can read it online here, or in the air rather. And also shout out to Gonzalo, aka Lobitos Den Boxing, who says Ruiz did not represent playing salsa in the beginning and swearing in a foreign country in the end of the fight. A little disappointed at that. Congrats to AJ. Now, well, I mean, Gonzalo. First of all, thank you for your contribution. But were you really ashamed by the cursing? Come on, man, it's boxing. We're not in preschool here.
Yeah, what is this fucking snowflake paradise or something? Get out of here.
No, it's just when you see Mexican fighters, like for example, you see like a Berchelt speak, very humble and respectful.
I've had enough of all this humbleness. I had enough of Joshua.
No, wait. But that's just me. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
This is boxing, man. I know it's your opinion, bro, but and you know I respect your opinion, Gonzalo. You know you're boxing, but what I'm saying is I've had enough of humble fighters. I want to see controversial shit.
Hey, politeness doesn't make you a coward. I'm just saying
I'm not saying nothing about cowards. I'm just saying about being pride.
That is pride.
It's not necessary to lay a foul tongue on me, my friend. I could get upset. Things could get out of hand.
Anyway, listen, let's not get into much into. But by the way, when I saw that, when Ruiz swore and the Sky interviewer said, "Oh, right away," he goes, "We apologize for the language." I'm thinking, "Oh, Stu's gonna lose it." Stu's gonna lose it.
The thing is, that's the thing about Adam Smith. He's a patronising fucking prat, really, isn't he? It's just patronises. I'm watching boxing, right? I've paid like £30 to watch it. It's late at night, right? This is a violent sport. Swear words are not going to affect me. I'm not going to. I'm not going to need.
What I'm saying.
A swear word. I mean, what if you get offended by a swear word? You got no business watching boxing. Go and watch.
I'm not offended. I'm not offended. The thing, if they wanted to leave it inside their ring, they could have done more. Even Nate, he fought like a coward at times. And Ruiz, they wanted to play this whole thing. In the end, where Ruiz wanted to say, next time I'm gonna come in shape. But he should have done this for this fight. Okay, AJ did what he needed to do to get the victory, but then him and Eddie Hearn are like fucking really happy and elated because they got the titles back because there's a lot of money in the line. And I don't disagree with that. But if you really want to talk about being a valiant person, they should have done more in the ring. That's why I'm saying this fight.
This is it. At the end of the day, this is why, if anything, Ruiz was a coward, not Joshua. All right, Ruiz was coming forward, but what did Ruiz throw? Come on, he didn't throw his hands a lot. He never really made Joshua dig deep and start throwing combinations and making him pay for his mistakes. Ruiz was doing nothing. He could barely close the distance. It was like watching a Mexican butter bean in there. And that's a coward, a guy that doesn't come in shape, a guy that doesn't give it his all, a guy that's happy now he's got his white Rolls Royce sitting outside and another 9 million, whatever it is in the bank. That's a coward. So Joshua did what he had to do. Let's be real. Anyone else would have got knocked out tonight by Anthony Joshua with them shots he was landing. It's just that Ruiz has that Mexican chin, which means granite.
Yeah, but Gonzalo makes a good point, though, that he's swearing in a way it's because he still has that energy in there, and Gonzalo is saying he should have left all of that energy inside, and he didn't really try. My thing is, though, Gonzalo, at 280 pounds, I don't think he could try all that much. I mean, the guy could barely move in there.
The hand speed was not there. AJ looked quite fast, throwing 1, 2s, and 3s, especially that jab. That was a swift jab he caught him with in the first round.
But Andy Ruiz does not want the responsibility of being heavyweight champion in the world. It's a lot involved, a lot of media shit. It's a very stressful job. And he doesn't want that. He's happy to have his little 5 minutes of fame. He's got millions and millions of dollars. So now he can just go and live in his big house and play with his children in his mansion. He doesn't want to be a champion. He's quite happy. I'll tell you what, you guarantee Andy Ruiz will not be calling for another one. He don't want it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's not even in boxing next year. That's what I'm saying. I think I'm getting signs of Marcus Madonna when he fought Floyd. He got his big payday. he'd give it his last hurrah, and he went off into Argentina and put on about fucking 4 stone. I just feel that's what Ruiz is going to do. Just look at Joshua, man. When he lost his belt, dedicated his next 6 months of his life to boxing. Look at the shape he's in. That's a lot of sparring, because you can't just get in the ring and fight like that. You've had to have a lot of sparring. There's been a lot of work involved to fight like that for 12 rounds. So
That's a good point.
that's a real champion.
That's a
That's a
good
real
point.
champion.
That's a good point because it took, like I said, to keep the title, it takes a lot of work. And just looking at Ruiz, you can tell that. I mean, listen, when you got a guy that's 280 pounds and most of that is fat, well, not most of it, he's got muscle under there, obviously, but he's way too fat. That's the look of a guy who can control himself when it comes to his eating habits. And Bucho made a video a while back where he showed that video of Luis in a soccer game or something. He was shoving food down his mouth or nachos or something, and you're thinking, well, wait a minute. Meanwhile, Joshua's at the gym. He's got something to prove because he wants to get those belts back, and Luis is taking it easy. Psychologically,
Yes.
it might have been a subconscious thing where he like Stu's saying, he doesn't want to keep that title because it's hard work. So subconsciously, what he does is he comes in fat. So he has an excuse already built in where he says, well, I didn't train hard enough, but next time I'm going to get it back. But he doesn't really want to do it. You know
He doesn't want it, mate. He's had his, listen, he's fighting for money in his family, which is great because you're not going to earn 10 million in 36 minutes anywhere else, are you? So, you know, he's a really good fighter. But if he had half the dedication of Anthony Joshua, he'd be a real threat to anyone. But you cannot come in at 283 pounds and expect to win a fight at the highest level. Just an absolute disgrace. He came in there, listen up, BDA, I'll tell you what he did. He came in there because he knew he didn't train properly. He piled on the pounds late on because he was looking in half decent shape at one time, then just started blowing on the pounds, right? Probably wasn't training properly, wasn't getting the sparring, not eating properly. So he thought, I'm just going to go in there for the early stoppage, try and land a big shot. He put all his eggs into that basket that he was going to land that early shot. He didn't. Do you think he was in shape to go 12 rounds at a decent pace?
Nah, man. Nah. Well, listen. First of all, before we continue on that, I want to give a shout out to Oliver Rushton again, and this time he leaves a comment. Says, "You boys think maybe Luis held back a little to get the third fight? He did mention it a couple of times in the post-fight interview, and it is AJ's money after all. Do you think AJ can clinch better?" All right. Shout out to Oliver Rushton, and also hold on a second before we answer your questions. I wanna get to also Joe Lopez, who says Joshua pranced around like a ballerina and hugged Ruiz to death. Wilder KOs the diva Joshua. All right, Joe Lopez, that we have differences of opinions there between the people in the chat room. So let's get to Oliver Rushton's question first. Do you guys think it's plausible that Ruiz held back because he wants that third fight and that third payday?
No one's going to call for that third fight after that. It's like asking for Cleverly Bellew 3. Who's going to want to watch that?
That's true.
Let's be real. That is not a fight I want to watch again.
Yeah.
I just don't want to watch it again. Joshua would do the same in the next one. Change something that works.
And unless Ruiz came in shape, but I mean, why do
Ruiz
that if you can?
right.
Yeah,
Ruiz-
I don't want to see it. He had the
Ruiz
opportunity to
didn't come in
defend
shape
his
when he was
title.
broke. When he was broke, he didn't come in shape. When he's a multi-millionaire, you think he's going to come in shape. Ruiz is really going to do a 6 month, get out of bed in silk pajamas, do a 6 mile run. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
still a terrible style for AJ because he decided to stay away. He would have to fight the same to win.
Well,
Yeah,
listen.
and I think he could. Like I said, I thought Ruiz was poor tonight. I really did.
Yeah, well, listen,
Ah,
you show up
definitely. There's no doubt about that.
show up at 280 pounds looking like a fat slob. I mean, come on. Joe Lopez also asked, he said, Joshua pranced around like a ballerina and hugged Ruiz to death. Wilder KOs the diva Joshua. So we can tie that into Oliver's question, which was also about whether Joshua can do a better job of clinching. What do you guys think? Because like I said, the clinching was a little sloppy. He got hit on the way in a couple of times while he was trying to do that sloppy clinching. Can he turn into another Vladimir Klitschko? Can he make that style work? And recognize, I see you're in there. Thank you for being on. If you want to jump in with that one too.
Yeah, he was a terrible clincher. He's
No.
terrible.
Said that
AJ
before I recognized. Said the same.
Yeah, he's actually worse than Wilder. I think Wilder's a better clincher than he is. And I'm not saying that as a joke. I really think Wilder doesn't clinch, but when he does, it's better than what AJ does.
Mm-hmm.
When you
AJ's He was actually getting hit when he was clinching. I was like, stay away from the fucking clinch. Don't even do it no more.
Yeah, me too. But the thing is, he was actually, like I said, he was fainting and then jumping into the clinch. And when he should have been throwing a shot, he was actually fainting, getting Ruiz to react. Instead of throwing a shot, he was lunging in with the lean sort of thing to grab. Oh, he was getting caught at all the time when he was doing that.
You know, quickly, I thought AJ showed, and maybe he had to, maybe because when it's a mental thing. But I thought that AJ was a little easy because he was so afraid. I think if he'd have picked up the pace, he would have knocked him out. But
I think so.
he didn't want to. And I think the reason why he didn't want to was he was afraid. Because you see the way he flinch or even act like he's going to throw a punch. He was flinching. He was like, let me get out of here. Had he been a little bit more ease, and I think that the reason why I don't want to see a third fight is that I think AJ beats him worse this time, probably knocks him out. Is that AJ won't have that fucking nerve jumping at him like he's having a fucking panic attack before the punch.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said. I think it'll be a better performance next time. I think he let his hands go more. I believe he could have got a stoppage. I'm not saying he'd knock Ruiz clean out. I think the ref could have stepped in, and stuff like that. But it was just fighting in bursts, and it got a bit tiring at times.
But when he let his hands go, he could just hit him at will. When he let his hands go,
he did well. But when you ran for 4 or 5 rounds, that's a stretch to say that he would knock him out or dominate him.
Well, listen, what I'm saying is the way
if he let his hands go.
Look, if
it's like you're saying Mayweather's gonna beat up Maidana next time.
No, Maidana is a different.
But Mayweather did beat Maidana a lot easier in the second
Mayweather
fight.
is a different boxer. Mayweather doesn't look for the knockout. I'm saying that AJ, I think, look, maybe he had to fight that way because when you're so nervous of someone, the last thing you want to do is get hit. What I'm saying, take the nerves away. He fights like that, and he's catching Ruiz. He probably does a lot more damage to Ruiz.
And guys, when the fight started, this is freaking weird. When I saw Andy Ruiz in the ring, you know how tall he looked to me? He looked like 5'10". For some reason.
Yeah, but I've been telling you that, Gonzalo.
I was like, holy shit, man.
There's no way he's 6'2". Not if Anthony Joshua was 6'6", right? They got Joshua listed at 6 feet 6 inches tall. He's like at least 6 inches taller than fucking Ruiz, if not more. It looks some more.
Yeah. What we saw tonight, though, is what I've been saying about the heavyweight division. Just a real poor division with a lot of fighters out of shape. You got to look at Povetkin today. He can barely make it to the corner at the end of the round. The guy's just too old, shot to pieces, nothing left in the tank. You had Ruiz in terrible shape. You had Michael Hunter looking sloppy and dodgy at times. I mean, Joshua was the only one that looked like a world-class fighter tonight. And that's a bit alarming because
there was, the two best looking in terms of shape.
I forgot about Dillian. I thought Dillian White was atrocious.
Oh,
and I've been calling
fat fuck.
This is the thing.
But the rumor.
I'm going to give him a pass for what's been going on. Short notice. He didn't even know if he was going to box again. So I'll give him a pass on this one. It's still styles make fights. When there's a dangerous guy in there, you'll see a different Dillian White.
Yes, I agree.
And guys, the rumor was that the delicacies and the meals, the food over at that hotel that they were staying in Arabia was like really good. The food was really good. So it was tempting to some of these guys.
I can see that. Because
that
Ruiz weighed 283. I could not believe he weighed that much, man.
Look, I think Canelo being there tells me that he's going to be in Saudi Arabia next.
Yeah, some people keep saying excuses. Man, it goes two ways. One guy wins or the other guy loses. Get over it. Wins gets the credit.
The thing is, anyone that understands boxing will know that what Anthony Joshua did was exactly what anyone with a boxing IQ would do. Anyone that's smart, anyone wants to be a champion. Do you know what I mean? You have to fight the way that's going to get you the victory, not to please the fans. And let's be real, if he'd have gone in there hooking with Andy Ruiz, he'd have got sparked again. So he had to do what was the right. Listen, he's never going to be able to sit there and fight Andy Ruiz in a dogfight. He's going to get beat every time. You've got to box Andy. I said it all along. The straight punches, make it boring, make it Vladimir style. But he actually brought a bit of rhythm to his boxing. He was his footwork was quite nice. He was quite light on his feet, and there's a bit of rhythm to him. I thought he was quite nice on the eye to watch.
I
Just
like the
not
way
big.
he looked, bro. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
I
honest
do.
with you. I like
Yeah, me
that he
too.
could box that way. I didn't even know he could. I'll be
I
honest with
didn't.
you. I didn't think he
I
could
didn't.
box that good.
Me neither.
Yeah,
This stone and a half. Look at the difference it makes.
it's a lot of pressure because you're coming in with that portraying that look real elegant, walking alone to the ring, saluting your fans, and pulling it off like that very graciously. Yeah, it was a good win. It was a good performance, but it is what it is. That's
Listen,
a lot of pressure.
you know what, guys? At the end of the day, he got the win. We knew he was gonna box this way, or I mean, we expected him to. I mean, we didn't know for sure. Now he's got the win. Some people are saying that it was ugly. Some people say that he turned into Mayweather. Whatever. Look, the way boxing works, the way boxing works is we get fickle minds as boxing fans. He didn't look entertaining in this one, but the point is, the mission was to get the win, not to get into a firefight. All right, he had to go spec ups in this one and just get the win
Look
and get out of
impressive in
there.
the next one. Look
Yeah.
impressive in the next one because the legacy of Anthony Joshua now continues. The future's bright for him. There's big fights ahead for him, more money, unification fights, well, undisputed fights there for him. The future looks bright for him. If he'd have lost this fight, there was no way back for him. How can you expect Joshua to demand a 75 million purse or demand all these things and 80,000 sellouts when he can't beat Andy Ruiz, who's
Yeah,
280
there
pounds?
was so much on the line that I think that he was fighting
Look at the nerve the guy.
so cautious that that was the only way he knew how to fight. Because, like I said, if you look at that boxing fight, it looked like if he wanted to open up for big, he could have done more damage to Ruiz.
Probably listen, but like you said, recognize he was sort of looking a little bit like Vernon Forrest in Ricardo Mayorga rematch. Remember
Yes, just a
we
little
talked
bit, but except that he was more successful in terms of obviously landing punches.
right.
Jab, I'll tell you, Anthony Joshua's jab was beautiful tonight. Just putting Ruiz off his rhythm. He had to keep resetting, and then the time he reset, Joshua was rolling out of there, and he just couldn't set his feet and get his big punches off. And that's because Joshua was light on his feet. I didn't believe he had that in him. I thought after 6 or 7, he'd start to blow, and Ruiz would catch up with him. But he kept at the same pace. His feet looked strong in the 11th and the 12th, didn't they recognise? Do you know what I mean? His legs
Yeah,
looked
There
strong.
was a,
because Ruiz didn't do anything too. Let's be fair, right? Like he
Yeah.
didn't really do anything, and
But he couldn't
maybe that's why
get close to that fight.
not Wilder, AJ decided to fight that way. He's like, look, the guy's slower than he was in the first fight. I'm not going to give him those counterpunch opportunities. I'm going to fight tall and move lateral movement, and in times I might even run away. But he probably decided to fight that way because he saw how big Ruiz was. AJ saw how big he was and said, he's slower, so I could beat him this way.
AJ was nervous as hell walking into that ring, man. He was
Hell
nervous.
yeah. Hell
You could see. So that big right hand that split Ruiz's eye. Now I think that gave him a lot of confidence, and it made Ruiz think, "Fuck me, I don't want another one of them." And it's sort of like he backed off for a few rounds. He didn't really do anything after that for a while. I think that's what gave Joshua a bit of space and time to get into his rhythm, and that's when he found the right distance. The jab was working. That right hand that he was following up with was doing a lot of damage when it was landing. It's just like I keep saying, man, that chin Ruiz has got is ridiculous. Because if Joshua had landed that on Deontay Wilder, then the core would have been the ambulance would have been doing 90 to hospital. That's for sure.
Well, before we continue, let me just give a shout out to Stack Those Bananas, who says get Mark a link. Yeah, we're gonna start bringing more people in as the show goes on. Shout out to Stack Those Bananas for that contribution. B Space says AJ impressed me. He showed a whole new style. I thought he would gas and get knocked TKO'd. No excuses. We all knew Andy Luis is fat. Weight excuses. Yeah, that's true. I mean, shout out to B Space, by the way, for that contribution. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, with that Luis thing showing up to 180 pounds, he surprised everybody. And like we keep saying, psychologically, it might have been a thing where he didn't want to become the champ or keep the title and have to step up and train all the time because it comes with a big responsibility. Also, shout out to G Boogie who just contributed as well. He says, Gonzalo, my brethren, you see what I mean by long range, mid range? He had to stay in his lane, and that's why he got the win. But you know what? Shout out to G Boogie for that, by the way. This is the story of the heavyweight division. The guys are limited. Every top guy is limited. I didn't see the whole Dylan White performance, but he's a
Terrible.
regular boxer, okay, which isn't bad. I mean, he's a top 10 fighter, so that means he's better than most guys. But right now, he's lacking a little something. Povetkin now is old. Wilder can crack with that right hand. That's all he's got. If he doesn't take you out of there, he's in trouble. Joshua can box. He can do a little bit of everything. He can punch, box, but he also seems now very shaky. Can't clinch. You never know when he's going to get taken out. Then you got Tyson Fury who can box, but he can't really punch. And he's got his issues outside of the ring with the coke and the pancakes, so you don't know when he's gonna fall out off the wagon and just go on a coke spree. But Bucho keeps telling me that that's not gonna happen. But I mean, come on, it's guys. What do you think? Isn't this the story of the heavyweight division?
Totally unpredictable Tyson Fury. He could be out of boxing next year. You just don't know. Like I said, they wouldn't be surprised if you with him. Anything could happen with him. He could be fucking running back for the Dallas Cowboys next season. You just don't know. That's the sort of character he is. But mentally unstable still for me, and you just don't know if he's going to be dedicated to boxing for too long. I think he's going to have a couple of big fights and he's out of there. Then you've got Joshua, who's got his weaknesses. Ruiz was terrible tonight. Dillian White looked absolutely dreadful. I mean, he's got his excuses. I'll give him a pass on that one. Povetkin's finished. Povetkin has to hang the gloves up, never fight again because he's going to get hurt. He was jumping in, right, lunging in with shots square on with his fucking chin in the air, mate, because he just didn't have any stamina to throw it right. I mean, it's real dangerous when you get like that. If Hunter had a bit more about him, he would have took Povetkin out. So Hunter had his moments. I like Hunter. I think he's a good fighter, but it still looked dodgy at times. So yeah, the heavyweight division's looking a bit dodgy at the moment, isn't it? Let's be real.
Yeah, it wasn't a great display of heavyweight talent. Let's just be honest, right? I mean, look, the Povetkin and Hunter fight. I thought Povetkin edged it out. I thought he won that fight, but it was a sloppy fight. Hunter needs to not. I think he just needs to understand who you're fighting against. When he was pulling out, man, he was getting fucking clipped by
experience. Povetkin's experience kept him in that fight because
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, because and Hunter really needs to work on that jab because he just flicks it out. There's nothing on it. It's not getting any respect. It's not even taking Povetkin off his rhythm. Nothing. Just flicking it out. Hardly hitting. And he's going to get counted one of these days with a big shot. I mean, Povetkin just weren't quick enough on the night to exploit that. He was throwing it, but just too slow. It's just like I said, when you're 40 years old, mate, you might look good on the outside, but when you dig into the tank, there's fuck all there. And like I keep saying, if Vladimir Klitschko was done at 40 years old, look at the shape he was in. What makes you think Povetkin's going to come out like lightning and Luis Ortiz? Them guys are well done. So for me,
Povetkin, to be fair, he always looked that way. Like he's
speed. No, he looked a bit
changed. I'm talking about shape wise. He's barely changed since he started.
No, I'm not on about shape. I'm not on about shape the way he looks. I'm on about shape the way his fighting shape, where he's lost that little bit of explosiveness.
Oh yeah, he lost it. I agree with that.
No, his feet has slowed down a little bit. His punch resistance is going. So he might look the same on the outside. That's what I've said. But
yeah, for the sake of
his punch resistance looks like it's taking a dive.
Age, brother, age.
Yeah, I was surprised that he only got 2 losses. I kept forgetting that. And for the sake of their careers, both of them guys, they got the draw. So they move on forward to do something else. They're still relevant.
Hey, listen, just before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Little Rask, who gave a contribution with the Super Chat. Shout out to Little Rask. Don't forget to leave a message when you contribute via the Super Chat so we can read your comment live on the air. So listen, this heavyweight division, like I was saying, like you guys were saying, very limited. Not quite all that entertaining because I mean, look at Deontay Wilder. Even he knocks people out, sure, but the way he gets there is very boring. And if I want to watch one punch knockouts, I'll watch the UFC. There's a whole bunch of them every time they do an event, and if that's what you're into, that's fine. I want to see a little bit more action for what I pay for. Yeah, I don't want to just see one. I mean, I'm not saying I hate one punch knockouts, but I want to see something happen up to that point, not just one guy pawing. The other guy just doing the bare minimum to win. I mean, I want to see more action. And heavyweight division right now, in terms of action, it's not where you're gonna get it.
Good thing they took that 6'4" kid that fought that 4 rounder, Diego Pacheco, in that fill-in fight. They got that spectacular knockout
Right.
for the Arab crowd.
Yeah, that Arabic crowd was they were pretty contained. I was expecting more.
Did you see Khan with the blonde hair?
Yeah, he's looking like a Japanese guy or something, like a Japanese pop singer.
He looked
Yeah, he was,
kind of gay. He was talking to some dude like to the side, like really close. That's how Arabics are. They get real close to talk to you.
Yeah, that's
And he
very
looked like
They're
he
disturbing.
was
kind of gay.
He looked kind of homo with that dude with his hair painted.
I know. I don't know what. Listen, I don't want to disparage anybody, but there's
I
a
do.
there's a big Arab population here. People from Morocco, Algeria. I know Lebanese people. Some of them don't consider themselves Arab, but hey, let's go with that anyway. They do tend to talk to you. There's no space. There's no personal space bubble the way we usually do here in the West. They get really close to you when they want to talk, and it doesn't help that they want to talk to you so close after they just ate a bunch of food doused with garlic. And you better take a step back, take some gum. I always have some
Yeah,
on hand. So
yeah. I was just gonna say, BDA, you're right, because that's like a confidentiality, a trusting with them. Not
oh,
that I'm
okay, well
saying
that's good.
that that they're bad because of that, but I'm
Okay,
just
okay.
saying with that hair painted, that's how it appeared to me.
Yeah, he
It's kind of
looked like
funny.
a cunt.
No, but oh, come on. No, wait a minute. Arabs, I know a lot of Arabs. They're good people, sensational people, some of the best. And we hope that if we have some of them listening right now, give a shout out, hit that like button, and subscribe as
I'm
well.
not too fond of you guys.
Hey, shut up! You're trying to ruin my. What are you doing, man?
Oh no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry, BDA.
It's blasting the spot over here. All right, listen.
Hey,
Yeah.
and what was the deal now that recognizes speaking with Andy Ruiz walking into the Wilfredo Gomez, like when he fought Salvador Sanchez?
That was dope. I thought I was like, yo,
It was all right
my man's playing some Puerto Rican music there. That's what I'm talking about.
because you're Puerto Rican. That's why.
I was like almost cheering for him. I'm like, fuck him up. Come on.
Hey, but man, that what?
sorry, Big Go on. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead, go ahead.
I tell you what, he would have whipped John Ruiz's ass. I'll tell you that right now. He puts Andy Ruiz in the hospital. Andy Ruiz puts John Ruiz to the hospital.
yeah, without doubt.
Oh, come on. John Ruiz was a good man. He just wanted to
No,
provide
he
for
was good. He was good, but he's all wrong for Andy Ruiz. He dips down. Ruiz will have a field day with him. Andy, that is.
I don't know,
They
man.
just
John
have
Ruiz. John Ruiz was pretty good with the clinches. You want to see the master of the clinches? Just watch John Ruiz. This motherfucker could
Yeah,
actually.
now that's a great clincher. I mean, he was boring as all fuck, but yeah, you're right about that.
When you go for that heavyweight division, though, for Joshua next, I mean, there is no other fight really apart from the winner of Wilder and Fury that
Well, he's
anyone
not
wants.
gonna. I don't think he's gonna take that fight right away.
I don't. But there's no one else really I want to see him fight at the moment. Look,
He might do a
Dillian White,
mandatory.
definitely not after that.
He might do a mandatory.
Go on. Yeah, that'll probably be the case, but it's not going to be too exciting for me. There's that heavyweight division, like I said. The challenges are just not looking up to the
He's got
the
two
task.
mandatories coming up, Stu. He's got the WBO, and I believe that's Usyk, and he's got the, I believe I want to say the IBF, and that's Pulev.
I think Usyk will be made.
I think he lets the WBO go.
I think Usyk is going to be a fight made. I think I think that was the deal that he signed with Eddie Hearn. I think he wanted Joshua in that contract. He's got Chisora. If he gets through Chisora, that'll be good in the UK. The UK see a Chisora win as a respectable win, and I think that'll build up as a nice pay-per-view event. That would. So, I don't think Usyk's the sort of guy that wants to play around and fight Pulevs and all them guys for nothing. I think he just wants to jump in with the big guys. So I think he's going to get Chisora out the way, which I think he will, and then he's going to fight Joshua. And really, when you think about it, there's no one else for Joshua to fight unless it's Fury or Wilder. So Usyk.
Yeah, but I think doesn't AJ? But let me ask you this: AJ has to fight a mandatory, right? He has to.
Isn't Usyk one of his mandatories?
Okay, so he's got an IBF mandatory and a WBO. He's got both of them. He's got to make a choice.
I would take the guy. I would take Usyk if I'm the zone because I wouldn't go with Pulev because he's from ESPN. I want to keep it in
Listen,
house.
Pulev, if he fights Pulev, man, then Sal's will.
Yeah, put people to sleep.
Not that he
Then
would
Sal's will
lose.
sleep. They're not gonna. People are not gonna tune in to watch. I'm not paying to watch Kubrat Pulev in any boxing match. I'm just not doing it. I'm not going to pay to torture myself for 36 minutes.
Hey, shout out to G Boogie again. Or is it M6G's G Boogie, right? Yeah, okay. He says,
Yeah.
I would like to see King Allah Bucho versus Amir King Khan. That's right, Bucho, who's on the way. Well, I think he's taking the plane back tonight. But I don't know if you guys saw, but last night he was broadcasting and he was live from Saudi Arabia, just like we told you. So we're spreading our wings here at BDA Boxing. And
That's the worst thing about
what was that?
Yeah,
the worst thing about Saudi Arabia. Khan's going to con the fucking boxing world out of a living again, for another couple of years. He's going to just go Saudi, fight there for stupid money against nobodies, and con a living out of us.
He'll get a nice payday.
Yeah, listen, Amir Khan got cocked. He needs a payday. If he wants to milk it for all it's worth over there in Saudi Arabia, it's his right. You're not going to have to watch him over there in Saudi Arabia anymore. England is rid of Khan for the moment. You should be happy about this.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao might be interested in that Khan fight now.
I'm saying is Khan. He shouldn't even be. Fucking real. He's finished, man. He's become a joke now. He doesn't want to fight anyone. He's just going to hang around in Saudi Arabia, fighting guys a lot smaller than him, getting big paydays for it. That's what I'm saying. He keep telling us about Floyd and Manny. I want Floyd Manny. When you got your big shot against one of the big guys, Terence Crawford, you was atrocious. You quit. That's what you did. So this guy should, for me, that performance alone was enough for me to say, Amir Khan, hang him up.
Well,
a man that's half man, half fucking robot.
Come on, man. Listen, Amir Khan is a nice fella. He still has good hand speed. Yeah, he had his trouble there with Terence Crawford, but like I've always said, Terence Crawford is one of the top welterweights in the world. Now that Errol Spence is out of the way, or he's probably gonna go to the Booty College. I don't think there's that many people that can beat Terence Crawford. But that's just my opinion. But I certainly.
Well, I don't think after
It's not about beating him. It's not about beating him, bro. It's about going in there and giving it a go. He fucking conned us. Well, he didn't con me because I didn't pay for it. But he conned the boxing world out of a big paycheck yet again by going in there. And let's be real, didn't want to know on the night, did he?
He didn't. He definitely didn't con me. I knew he wasn't going to hit him with anything meaningful. And as soon as he got hit, he was going bye-bye. I already knew that.
Well, there you guys have it. I mean, you saw it coming, but the point is,
some people thought he outboxed him. I'm like, yeah, it was pointless, even if you did think he outboxed him, because he's not landing anything with fucking meaning.
Canelo as well. He outboxed Canelo as well. Apparently, look where that got him.
He outboxed Canelo, and what did it mean in the end?
Exactly.
He got Wilder. Right? He got Deontay Wilder losing.
He makes everybody.
Got knocked out.
He made Canelo look like Deontay Wilder in there. I mean, it's fantastic. But the point is this: getting
better because he put him to sleep.
Yeah,
and he didn't win any round, right?
They couldn't see that Canelo was in second gear, right? Canelo was going through the emotions, just waiting. He was carrying that fight because he knew as soon as he landed, Khan was going to be asleep. He knew that, so he carried that fight. I'm telling you, as soon as he started letting his hands go, all sorts of things started to happen to Khan. And then all of a sudden, he's in heaven, isn't he, for about 30 seconds, and then comes back to life. But it was a bad knockout. Bad knockout. Yeah. So it doesn't matter that he was winning on the cards or outboxing Canelo. You've got to outbox him for 36 minutes. It's no good outboxing him and then be sleeping on the canvas for 30 seconds afterwards. Well,
exactly.
Yeah. That's why I mentioned Wilder, like how he does it now. I don't know if it's all planned for him, for Wilder, but that's what he did.
Yeah,
with Ortiz,
but
right?
the difference with the knockout Canelo did of Khan, Khan didn't get back up. They had to put like smelling salt on his fucking under his nose to get him up.
They put some hummus under his nose. That's when he woke up.
Yeah.
But look, the point is, speaking of the
he met Allah that night, didn't he?
No, come on, man. You gotta watch it, man.
Hey,
You gotta watch it with that.
He popped
can
in
I
for a
say
quick
something?
chat with Allah.
Well, Gonzalo wants to say
Oh,
something.
he's down. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And what was the deal when Stu was narrating the undercard? There was a lot of smoke coming. We were making a joke about it yesterday, but I almost thought somebody threw a dynamite stick.
Okay, wait. Yeah, but
Remember,
Gonzalo,
they're in the
something.
desert.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but maybe
So
the.
when it rains over there, that could be the
But they had
heat
like
coming
some
from the
smoke
ground.
signals or something, part of like the theatrics. You think
Maybe. Yeah,
there
maybe.
was smoke coming out?
But they don't use smoke machines anymore, do they? For the
Well,
effects.
it sure seemed like it. Stu knows what I'm talking about because he mentioned it, and I saw it like
Yeah,
a
that was
smoke
weird,
screen
man.
just puffing out
Man,
from everywhere.
if I would have been there
Oh,
live,
you're
I would have
about
been.
Amir Khan. You're about Amir Khan.
No, not the
No, and the
smoke.
undercard. Did you remember that smoke was coming out from the from around the ring?
I can't remember. It wasn't me who mentioned it.
Okay, well I saw it. A lot of people were mentioning that on the chat. Anyways,
Yeah,
Hey,
it
by the
wasn't me,
way,
mate. I don't know what you're on about.
let's get Andy Ruiz out of the way because I think we can all. He has to prove. Look, he was a flash in the pan, got his 15 minutes of fame. Now he has to prove that he's really intent on coming back and staying on track and being consistent. So for the moment with Luis,
You blew it!
now we move on from him. So what's next for Anthony Joshua? Because like Recognize and Stu were saying, there's some mandatory there. It might be Usyk, might not be Usyk. Joshua's the type of guy that can let go of the titles. He doesn't really need them to make money. I don't think we're
I
gonna
think
see.
Usyk is a risky fight, BDA.
Well, of course, yeah.
I don't. I look.
Yeah.
I would like to see it next. I would like to see it, but I don't think he's going to take that route. That's what I think.
But I think
don't-
as part of Music's contract, Eddie Hearn has to deliver him Joshua. So I know Joshua has the final say at the end of the day, but Joshua really hasn't got anywhere else to go apart from Usyk, Wilder, and Fury. Because do you want to see Dillian White again after that performance? Like Kubrat Pulev's a big no.
No,
I mean,
Maybe Joshua wants to.
Danny Barr's not ready. Hergovich is not ready after that performance. Definitely not. Who is there? I mean, I don't want to see Ortiz in there with Joshua, do you? There's no
Let's
one
get
else.
Ortiz, the boogeyman.
He's short for options, really, when you think about it. I mean, because let's say it's Fury Wilder winner. That'll be on a later date. But the next best thing is probably
I hope
Usyk.
you're right. I hope he fights Usyk next. To be honest with you, I hope he does. I hope after, depending on what happens between Usyk and Chisora, and if he comes out the winner and pretty fresh, him and Joshua, yeah, I'm all for it.
I'll tell you what, Joshua in that shape, that weight, boxing like that, it's going to be a very hard night for Usyk. I'm telling you that now. Because I tell you,
it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for anybody.
If Joshua lands one of those shots he landed on Ruiz, I'm convinced Usyk's not taking that shot.
Remember, when you're punching at Ruiz, if you're Joshua 6'6", you're punching downwards. This is why I'm like, you guys need to calm down. With Wilder and Fury would definitely knock him out, beat him. Maybe Wilder could knock him out. Probably. But here's what I'm saying: he's not going to be reaching for punches against Wilder and Tyson Fury. Okay, these guys are at the same level as him in terms of height and reach.
Mm-hmm.
So especially Wilder and him are basically the same everything. They're the same height, same reach. Okay, so it's not going to matter at all.
yeah, but at the same time, he's more exposed to getting countered by a longer guy. Right?
Yes, no, he could, but that lateral movement he was using against a tall guy, oh, that's good. That's what you want to do with a guy your size. You
see, it was pretty easy to control Reese that was pressuring when you're the longer guy.
But it was also
you
harder.
you weren't
to hit
comfortable.
Ruiz.
You weren't comfortable training with
but
him.
Gonzalo, take it from a guy who's fought shorter fighters, right?
Yeah.
It's harder.
Throw in there Wilder, right? What happens? You gotta be careful on the counter.
Of course, you have to. Everybody has to be careful, Wilder. Everybody. Okay, but what I'm saying is, he's not gonna be overdoing himself to try to hit Wilder. Wilder's gonna be right there, which allows you to throw harder punches. Okay, you got to remember, Joshua's not just gonna sit there and let Wilder say, "Go ahead, hit me with your best shot. No,
Uh,
it's going to be
Joshua,
resistance back.
Joshua's going to be in the pocket throwing uppercuts and hooks. That he can't fight like he did tonight against Deontay Wilder.
No,
He can't
he
do it
wouldn't. It
because
would
he
be
is going to
stupid
get
of him.
caught with that right hand, and then it's going to be it's
Can
going
you
to be
imagine
curtains
him
for him.
punching down to Wilder? I know I'm making a joke here, but can you imagine him punching down to Wilder? You get what I'm saying? Different styles.
No,
Different
yeah. Why would
dimensions.
he? He's gonna face a guy that's equal in height to him.
That's my point. That's my
But the
point,
guy
Gonzalo.
that's equal in height with them got long hands too. So whether
Gonzalo,
if you throw him
Gonzalo,
from the
that
mid
is
range
my
or long range, then same thing's coming back
Gonzalo.
to you. Yeah.
That's exactly my point. That's why I brought
Hmm.
it up. I
Yeah.
brought it up because that's not going to be the same problem there. What he's going to have to worry about is Wilder catching him flush first. If
Yeah,
Wilder catches him
Yeah.
flush first, he could be in a lot of trouble. But if
he will
I'm
be in a lot. He will be.
right,
This is he'll be in a lot of trouble. There's no doubt in that. But Joshua's got to forget about. But like I said, every fight you got to have a different game plan. Tonight was the right game plan for Ruiz against Wilder. You have to get inside Wilder because he's got no inside game for a start. And Wilder's not going to fight off the clinch like Ruiz is doing because Ruiz is really dangerous in the clinch because he throws punches off. Wilder doesn't do that. Wilder doesn't throw hooks, short uppercuts to the body in the pocket. He just holds you. And that's when Josh was actually good on the inside, but Ruiz is much better. And that's why Joshua's inside game wasn't really working against Ruiz. So he had to keep it long,
I have
which
a
he should have
feeling
done.
that Anthony Joshua, when it's all said and done, we're going to say this dude had no problem with guys his height. I'm already I've two fights, 3 fights that I've no 4, excuse me, 4 fights I've seen him with. It's the shorter guys that gives him problems. Now, if you want to bring up Vladimir Klitschko, understand you're talking about a fucking legend. I don't care how old he is. Okay. Now, Vladimir Klitschko, him and they were the same size. So, but you saw when he faced adversity how he came back from that. I think he's one of these guys and people who spend a lot of time in the boxing gym know this. There are certain guys. I suffer from that. Guys my size, I have a very great time getting their rhythm and hitting them.
How tall
It's
are you again?
guys that were a lot shorter than me.
How tall are you again today?
6'9".
6'9" today. Okay, all right, that's good. No, it's true. I mean, it's. Listen, you're fighting down. You got to put like Ragnar is saying. It creates a whole new dynamic. And for people to say that, well, Wilder he takes Ruiz out with one shot, Ruiz is going to be looking for that right hand, and he's a pretty good. He's got pretty good defense. I mean, notice how every time Joshua would hit him with a flush shot, he would try to get another one, and Ruiz would counter right away, and that's when Joshua would start to fumble a little bit and start flinching and clinching. By the way, we got King Butch on the line, and also the phone lines are open. So call in. The number's right up there in the description. Butch, are you there? All right.
Bucha, are you back from Saudi Arabia?
He's in the on the
Hello?
plane, I think. Yeah, can
Yeah.
you hear us?
Oh, that was fast.
To his throat.
How did you get here so fast?
Who said I'm still in Saudi Arabia, man?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, don't you hear the camels in the background?
Yes, I hear them now.
Yeah, it was
There you go.
raining and shit, but everything's fine. Hold on.
Did you dye your hair blonde too?
Like American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get
Take a picture
conked?
together.
Are you gonna get conked by Anthony Joshua as well, like American? Or
I'll take on Joshua anytime. Man.
there you go. All right, listen. By the way, we got a phone call, Butcher. Did we take it or?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phone lines real quick. Like I said, phone lines are open. 484, you're on the line. 484.
Yo, what's
Jackson.
up, guys? It's Jackson. I just want to say shout out to Stu and Recognize. They were spot on point. They were right. I was wrong. And AJ looked absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen him look that good. I mean, I didn't know he had those skills. I mean, you can say he clinched. That was a master class, and he didn't even clinch that much. That was beautiful boxing. And the fluidity, the movement. I mean, he was landing some killer shots. I thought he was going to stop Ruiz.
Yeah, they were big shot.
There. That was some beautiful boxing.
You're not the only one, Jackson. I'm a Joshua fan. Every one of us on this BDA show, we didn't think Joshua had that in him. We've never seen him move like that, and the rhythm he showed in his boxing as well just looked loose. That's why the right hand was landing clean because it just just lighter on his feet and everything.
Same with
It's
the
just a
left
much
hook.
better
The
performance.
left hook was too.
Hey, Jackson, I don't see a prediction from you. I'm looking at the list here. Did you make a prediction? What was your prediction?
I kind of had two predictions. I either said Joshua on points or Ruiz 8th round stoppage, but I lean more towards the Ruiz stoppage because I didn't know AJ had those skills. I mean, he looked like fucking Pernell Whitaker out there. I was like, I mean, you can say he held and ran. No, that was a master class. He wasn't doing what Mayweather did. Maybe like Pretty Boy Floyd. He was landing shots. Like it reminded me of when like Mayweather fought Corrales. Even though the guy was shorter, he'd get in, land like a couple huge left hooks, straight rights, and I mean that was beautiful. I'd rather see that sometimes than a bullshit Wilder knockout. That AJ that's in that shape will beat the shit out of Wilder.
We do apologize for the language,
Massacre
ladies and gentlemen. But
Wilder.
yeah, we do apologize for the language, ladies and gentlemen. But Jackson, so you like the performance? So you didn't find it boring then, like some people are saying in the chat?
I loved it. The boxing masterclass. Boring is like what Klitschko did. I mean, he was in there hitting angles. He threw a bunch of punches. I mean, yeah, he clinched a couple times, but it's not like a Rick India fight or a Vlad fight where he's just looking for that one right hand. I mean, he was.
Vlad had 50 odd KOs.
I did
Vlad
not
had
know
over
he had
50
that
KOs.
skill.
That's not a boring fight. All right, at times it was, but over 50 KOs tells me it can be quite exciting.
Nah, but
Yeah,
what
it's
happened?
like Wilder.
Yeah, it's like Wilder. What happened to the lead up to the knockout? Nothing. Clinching and feinting to set up clinches. But listen. But first of all, Jackson, you liked the performance then. But I gotta ask you: were you hitting the bong at some point in between, or
Hitting the what?
the bong?
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, Action Jackson predicted Ruiz 8th round stoppage.
He just
I
told us.
didn't pick the original.
What's your thoughts on Ruiz's performance?
I thought it was dreadful, to be honest. I thought, like, the first sign was that he came in 16 pounds heavier. Once I knew that, I was like, because I knew Joshua was focusing on punch resistance and speed. So when I knew that, I knew it was going to be a little different, but he looked terrible. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from AJ's performance, but, like, he did not look that good. And I'm sure he can get his weight back down and he can come back stronger, but
He doesn't want to be a champion. He doesn't want to be a champion.
Exactly.
Honestly, mate, he does not want to be a champion. He was happy to give them belts away tonight, collect that paycheck. He hasn't got it in him. And what comes with being a heavyweight champion? Because there's more about it than just getting in a boxing ring and throwing your hands for 36 minutes. It's a long year, a lot of media. There's a lot of pressure on you. And he didn't want that. He was happy to give them belts up tonight.
By the way, I forgot to read a comment from way back. Box88, shout out to Box88. He contributed in the super chat. He said, "Congratulations to Anthony Joshua for the victory and for restoring order to the universe." So, how about it, Jackson? Is Box88 right with his generous contribution? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best fighters that I'll tell you another thing too. That AJ will beat the crap out of Tyson Fury.
Oh.
Tyson Fury, if he can move like that, Tyson Fury is not going to be able to keep him on the end of that jab because I heard stories. AJ's already dropped him like 5 times in sparring. If you have that AJ that can move, because Tyson Fury would always be like, he's robotic. Oh, he's robotic. That guy was not robotic.
Wow.
That guy looked like Muhammad Ali. Like,
Muhammad Ali.
All right, you see.
I think people need to calm down.
All right.
Yeah, calm down a little bit. Calm down with the Let's be real. If he took, all he's done really is obviously changed a few things tactically, but he took a stone and a half of muscle off him, and look at the difference. He's in. That was a fighting shape. That is what. But I'd like to see him even lose a little bit more, come in a bit leaner. You do not have to be a muscle-bound freak to be the heavyweight champion of the world.
Okay,
As Tyson Fury is concerned, Tyson Fury is going to bring a lot more dimensions than what Ruiz brought tonight. Ruiz was absolutely shocking. You know, through punches in spells. When he could be bothered, that was when he could. His feet were too slow,
Well, he couldn't catch him.
too heavy on the
Put
night.
off the ring.
You know,
You know?
the punches just weren't landing like they were in the first one. Joshua was out the way. His feet were quick tonight. I thought it was a brilliant performance. My favourite performance from Anthony Joshua.
I love
And yeah,
yeah.
could be a bit boring on the eye, but he did exactly what he had to do. This was not
Well,
about being brave and going in there and trying to war with Ruiz because he'd come out second best.
well, there you have it. Now, Jackson, we do have to move on. We got other calls, but anything else you want to say
Can
before
I
we
say
let you
one
go?
more thing, BDA?
Absolutely.
One more thing real quick. It reminded me a lot of like the Kovalev Elite or Alvarez first fight when he got knocked out, and then obviously the weight changed and everything, but he came back and was just boxing from angles and just boxed his ears off, and it really reminded me of those two fight sequences.
It's true, huh? Yeah,
You know
it's
what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah. It's right, man. The guy
Yes.
who got knocked out worked out the kinks in the armor and did what he was supposed to do in the first fight. So shout out, Jackson. Thank you for calling in. We're gonna move on
Yeah,
now.
thanks. Yeah, it's pretty stuff. That was good
The
stuff.
BDA quickly. This is why I was a bit hesitant to start praising Ruiz too much and start calling him the number one man in the division. I smelt a Hassim Ratman where he would get beat in the rematch and he'd disappear for a while. I just felt that was going to happen, and call him number one, and he proved that tonight. Definitely not. I mean, he's gone back to number 4 for me.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there you have it. Let's go real quick to another phone call. 647. You're on the air. 647.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you? Awesome, man. Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't it wasn't like the greatest fight. Obviously, some people say it was boring. I can see that, but I'm just amazing how AJ basically how he kind of improved his style for this fight, and there was a lot of things that he did in the first fight against Ruiz that did not work for him, and he did a lot better. But one of the things that I noticed is that with AJ, when he, for the first 3 rounds of the first fight, he was kind of boxing Ruiz, and he kind of keeping his distance, but he wasn't moving around as much, as you can see from the second fight. And one of the things that he did, which Ruiz was very confident, AJ tended to keep both his hands up. And when he kept both his hands up, it made Ruiz more confident to attack him. But when AJ had his left hand, his jab hand down, Ruiz was more hesitant to come in and attack. And I could know why, because as a boxer myself, an amateur boxer, when he had his left hand down, basically Ruiz can't see both his hands. And so he's kind of hesitant to attack him because he doesn't know where his left hand is, and he has to worry with the right hand that's up by his chin, and also he has to worry about the left hand, which is down by AJ's knees, right? And it was kind of working for him, and every time when AJ put his hands up, again, Ruiz would attack him. Now, in the second fight, AJ, I don't know where he was getting his training from, but it seemed like they noticed that, and they actually worked on trying to kind of like keep his left hand out there. Jab, he did a lot of jabs, and also he brought his hands down. And that kind of, you can see Ruiz, he's kind of hesitant to come in and attack as much. I don't know. What do you guys think, man?
You know what? You bring up a good point about the hand positioning. That's something that it's very tricky to pick up. I'm not an expert at it, but now that you mention it, it makes sense that he was using those hands. When he had those hands down, it was sort of to bait Ruiz in, and then when he had them up, it was because again, that's the other thing. Ruiz was running into a jab. Now, it might not seem like much, but you're taking a jab from a guy that weighs 230 pounds, and he's hitting you square in the face when you're coming in, whether it's in the forehead, the nose. The nose is the worst, by the way. But those type of jabs hurt. They keep you honest, and they discourage people from coming in, especially if you're weighing 287 pounds and you're like a bowling ball with arms and legs. I mean, you can't really catch the guy if you want to.
Beautiful tonight, mate. That jab was beautiful tonight. It kept Ruiz away from him for a start, and Ruiz had to keep resetting because Joshua kept taking him off his rhythm, and it was just the jab was. It was never going to knock Ruiz out with that jab. It was. It's one of them jabs that just it controlled the fight for me. You know, and it was landing clean as well.
It was very eye catching. It was popping his head back.
Exactly. It was pop. It had a bit about it. It was a nice jab. But when you go and look at Michael Hunter's jab, it was terrible. I mean, if Hunter's watching Anthony Joshua tonight, then he should probably take a few tips on how to throw a jab, because Hunter is a really good fighter, and I think he could really improve if he works on that jab.
Yeah, absolutely, man. If he could.
But the jab's important. The jab is really important. Joshua proved tonight how important the jab is, because without the jab, I don't think he'd have won that fight tonight.
Yeah,
Well, listen,
yeah, exactly.
caller, you're an amateur boxer, you said?
I used to be an amateur boxer, yeah, man, and I'm like 6'1". Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't tell you my name in case. My name is Jack. So yeah, but yeah, 6'1", and usually every time when I box, one of you guys said that.
Oh, Jock, you dropped out.
Call him, man.
You dropped out to 6'4". Yeah, he's dropped 6'7". Call back in so we can conclude this conversation. But yeah, he made a good point there about the hands. The hand positioning is really something that's next level shit right there. And again, I'm not all that great at picking that up, but evidently the caller was. Whoops, hold on a second.
Was it a masterclass from Rob McCracken? Because Rob McCracken was the head everyone was calling for after the first fight. I mean, he was the head that had to roll, apparently. I mean, did he come back with a master game plan, or was it just Joshua?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Did Joshua need a master game plan to beat a guy like?
Good point.
Well, no, because if I can tell you a game
that's
plan,
the
it's going to
thing.
beat him.
I mean, I will making a big deal out of this, though. This is what had to happen in the first.
Well,
yeah.
3 out of 5 champions, when you get the belt, are going to win on the rematch. So he did well by taking the immediate rematch and recovering from being dropped 4 times.
Gonzalo sounds like one of those lawyers.
A lot of people were saying the opposite. A lot of people were saying the opposite. He's stupid for taking an immediate rematch.
I like the statistics.
It's kind of a big deal. Yeah.
I like the statistics that Gonzalo comes out with. Like 3 out of 5 times the champion always gets the belt. Where are you getting the statistics from?
But it makes sense, because if you are the champion, that means you're a good boxer. So obviously, if you really are a good boxer, you should be able to make it in the rematch. Come out successful. Yeah.
70%, 3 out of 5, 70% of the time the champion keeps the belt.
Stop coming up with the statistics. All right, listen.
We got a lot of phone calls here. By the way, if you're calling from outside the United States or Canada, don't call in, because you're gonna get charged. All right, we don't have an 800 number yet.
You're gonna get charged up you're gonna get charged up the wazoo. So better not call in if you're from overseas. Otherwise, we can't cover. The BDA legal department has told us that we can't cover those fees. All right, so the bankroll can't do that. Hold on a second. Let's go to real quick. 337. You're on the air. 337.
Hey, what's up, family? It's Dead Game Boxing.
Oh, Dead Game. Thank you for calling in, man. What did you think about Joshua's fight?
I was impressed.
Impressed.
I mean, I can't say anything more than what you guys were saying. The jab was phenomenal. The footwork was phenomenal. The movement. I thought by round 6, I was like, okay, he's dropping his hands. He's gonna slow down. But man, this guy kept moving, bro. He moved the whole fight. The dude moved around circle. He ran circles around Andy. Andy couldn't get. Andy caught him a few times. And to me, Andy was looking for that looping punch behind the ear. Like, that's all he was throwing. I mean, he caught him a few body shots, but I mean, the movement, man, he would make Andy reset, because he would move one way, then he would stop, move the other way. I mean, it was killing Andy's mindset. It was phenomenal boxing, bro. Phenomenal. I mean, I have a newfound respect for AJ. I mean, I knew he was good, but I've seen something different in AJ now. The weight loss was great. I think he should pretty much stay where he is and just perfect that style. I mean, I'm not sure if that's his new style or that's just something he did just for this fight, but beautiful.
Yeah, that non-stop movement. I've never seen somebody move so much. The last time I saw somebody move so much, it's like well, yeah. What's that? Yeah, Dead Game. We got a lot of noise in the background. Are you in a factory or something?
I'm in a work truck.
Oh, in a work truck. All right. Well, listen, real quick,
Yeah,
man.
I'm in a work truck.
Real quick, Joshua now has redeemed himself with the win. He's got the titles back. He got his revenge. Who do you want to see him fight next?
I would like to see him take a not a soft touch. Somebody like, let's see, I mean, a decent touch. And, you know, the fight is Wilder, man. We all know that's the fight we want to see. But, you know,
He's got to beat Fury first. He has to beat Tyson Fury first. What makes you think that's going to happen?
Well, what I was going to say, even if Andy would have won, I wouldn't have wanted him to go immediately until Wilder fight. I think Joshua needs to fight. Go back to the UK. It's going to be lit. They're going to be singing Carolina. It's going to be crazy. Get him a nice touch-up out there, and then bring Wilder to the UK.
Hey, that would be nice.
Wilder's never come here. Wilder will never come here.
I mean, let's just
his team won't let him.
But I'm just saying that's what I would like to see. You know.
Me too.
Yo, Dead Game,
like
shout
to
out
see
to
Wilder
you.
go to
Dead
the
Game.
UK.
Dead Game, quickly, shout out to you because you're the first Wilder fan that says you want him to go to the UK and
respect
fight
to Dead Game.
Yeah.
Salute to you.
Hey man,
Can I say something, Mr. BDA, to Dead Game?
As we just saw, 4 corners. It's 4 corners, whether it's in Saudi Arabia, United States, or UK. You got a ring, we got a fight.
That's well said.
I mean, that's how I look at it.
That's very well said. Now, Gonzalo wants to add something to that. Gonzalo, go ahead.
Yeah, let's not forget that Anthony Joshua, out of 20 victories, had 20 KOs. So this is what happens with many punchers. They start relying on power to where when he got knocked out, he had to rediscover a different way of doing things. So this is just another added wrinkle where it will work really well for him. Because a lot of the times when guys can punch, like Deontay Wilder, who you're a fan of, Dead Game, sometimes don't find that area that they can box well. But yeah.
Right.
That's not a knock on Wilder. I just wanted to throw that in.
I think with the performance tonight, I think you've got to look at that fight could have been stopped quite early for Ruiz having a granite chin. Most heavyweights in that division are not taking that shot. That shot lands on Dillian White. He's asleep. Wilder, the same. Tyson Fury is not taking that shot. They were big shots Ruiz was taking tonight. So Ruiz, obviously, there's not many fighters like him with a chin like that. So Joshua's obviously thought, I'm not getting this guy out there, so I've got to play it safe. And I agree. That was the right way to go because Ruiz was looking really dangerous in the pocket, you know, and especially coming out of the clinch. It was really dangerous. And Joshua looked, any time he could go, any time Joshua got clipped, it looked like he could go. But Joshua was just too quick on his feet today. And like I said, he did take a few shots as well. So I think he proved his chin's okay. It's just that performance in the first fight was terrible. And I had a feeling Josh had a bit more about him than that. And he proved it tonight, but I didn't think he was that good. I didn't think I'd see the footwork. I didn't think the jab would be on point like it was. The movement. He just didn't let Ruiz set his feet. Didn't let Ruiz get close enough to him to cause damage. And it was just a great performance. But I don't want to see him fight like that all the time. I do want to see him put it on flat-footed heavyweights. I really do.
Let that game...
The last thing I'm going to say is let's just not poop all over Andy, bro. Andy is a top heavyweight. He came forward the whole fight. He just couldn't catch him. Bro. Andy is great. Andy is a great fighter. With power. I mean, there's levels, man. There's levels to this game, and as we can see, Andy. I mean, Joshua just was on another level tonight. And look, man, big ups to Joshua, bro. The dude came up to fight, and he had a game plan, and he worked this game plan, and that's what happened.
Very well said, Dead Game. Very good points. Thank you for calling in, and we'll catch you on the next one, all right?
All right, guys, you'll have a good one, brother.
All right, you too, man. Take care out there. Yeah, he's right, man. I mean, Ruiz was like the DA, and Joshua was like John Gonzalez, and the DA just couldn't catch him. All right, let's go to 929. 929, you're on the air. 929.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Ruiz-Joshua.
Hey, Ruiz-Joshua. Thank you for calling in, man.
I just wanted to talk about the fight. I think what I saw, today from Anthony Joshua was just textbook boxing from the outside. He controlled the distance, and the jab and the footwork, stick and moving. That to me was the story of the fight. I thought Ruiz's conditioning, leading up to the fight, resulted in him like not really closing the distance. I mean, the 15 added, pounds, it really didn't do him any good. Everybody was talking about, was Joshua's weight loss going to be, detrimental to him taking punishment, and that wasn't the case at all. I mean, just judging by his movement, he was very fluid. This is the best boxing I've seen from Joshua, I think, ever. And it really goes to show. I mean, maybe it was a mental lapse in the first fight, or that Joshua didn't really know much about Ruiz. That's why he underestimated him. But that was basically what he had to do, from the get-go, from the first go-around. We would have avoided all this talk about him having a mental breakdown or what's going to happen to him when he faces Wilder. We're not too worried about that at all. I thought they did really well.
Well, you're not worried about it, but Bucho did bring up a good point, which is, I mean, are we overrating the win a little bit when it's what he should have done in the first fight? I mean, it's because of what happened in the first fight that this looks so sensational, but shouldn't he have done more?
AJ's already had a full career, bro. AJ at 30 has already had a full career. He's been the world champion. He's lost the fight. He's revenged the fight. That's a full career already. And just
Yeah.
24
Hall of Fame?
fights.
Hall of Fame?
Yeah, more likely.
Well, with today's
It's
standards.
the adjustments. I think everyone's impressed. Listen, everyone's impressed because it's the adjustments that Joshua's made. And let's be real, massive adjustments in one training camp. And this was a guy that looked like a robot. He looked like a Frank Bruno Mark II in there in the first one. And all of a sudden, he's coming out like Cassius Clay.
Oh,
I
come
mean, it's
on.
ridiculous. The transformation was, well, it was amazing. And like
He's
I
going to
said,
be a
just that
problem
stone and a half.
from here on out. He's going to be a
Of
problem.
course
He's
he
got
is.
he's got
Like I said,
experience.
not everyone's going to take that like Ruiz did.
Can I just
He's
say
got
something?
experience. He's lost the fight. He's come back. He's come back and won the fight. He shows you that he can adjust to win fights. It's going to be a problem. He's an excellent boxer in my
All right.
opinion.
Let's let
Yeah.
Virtuoso say
Yeah,
something. Go ahead, Virtuoso.
Yeah, who was the guy that was comparing him to like Floyd Mayweather or Pernell Whitaker? I thought that dude sounded really high. I mean,
No, come on.
I thought he boxed well, but like, come on, like he still got caught in the exchanges, on the inside. Once he misses that big right hand, he got caught up top, and that's something that he had to stay away from, and he did well, just stay away from Ruiz's dominant hand, throughout the whole fight. Ring generalship was key. You really control the action there.
Hey, Virtuoso, I got to also give you credit because you picked Joshua by unanimous decision.
Yeah, because he had to
call,
play
man.
the safety game.
Good
There was
call.
no way, it basically like
I
that defense, in football.
I didn't think it
Just keep him away, keep him away from that chin, that end zone. That was key for Ruiz, to win that fight, the first time, get to that chin, but that added weight, he looked really slow. It just really disappointing, and he admitted it. I respect him, for his candor, but I don't know what happens for with him, what's next. I don't know if there's going to be a rematch, and I really, based on what I saw, stylistically, I don't think it would be interesting, the next time around. It would just be more the same.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I mean, yeah, that's why I don't want to really see a third fight. It's been
No
there,
way.
done
I
that.
don't want to see it. I don't want to see that again.
No, screw that, man. It's been there, done that. Now, bigger and better things, man. This we need to make the best
Yeah.
fights in the
Let's
division.
move
So
on.
and by the way, Virtuoso, we do
I
have
got
to.
a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just one more question. I mean, let's say if Heyman and Earn, get to the negotiation table about a potential super fight. You think you're going to use Heyman is going to use that one loss as leverage, for Wilder to get that ASI, that the whole politic and bullshit. that's going to keep the fight away?
Oh, A side with Wilder.
Location is going to be the problem. Location might be the problem between them because
logistics. Yeah.
Wilder cannot back up. Cannot back up an A side. Defeat. It doesn't matter whether Joshua's got a defeat or not. Joshua just made $75 million. You know,
Jesus.
Joshua's the A side.
Yeah.
Is the A side, bro. And now he's got 3 belts. Now after that performance, because let's be real, look at the people calling in tonight saying how impressed they were with Joshua. People that didn't really rate Joshua because they like to see boxing. Joshua wasn't really doing that. He was just strolling forward, landing big shots, and they were falling over. But once he come against Ruiz, a real guy in there wanted to win on that night, he come and stuck. So, but just the way he's changed his fighting style for me is made him more dangerous, if anything. So you've got to call him the A side right now. And let's be real, Wilder's numbers flopped. Wilder didn't bring big numbers with Ortiz.
The only thing that I didn't like, Stu, that there was around like 3 rounds in the latter part of the fight that he hardly threw a punch or two more than a couple of shots.
What happened with Joshua is he started to jump into the clinch for no reason. He would feign, Ruiz would react, and instead of throwing a shot,
he was horrible.
He was just jumping into the clinch, and that's when Ruiz was doing his best work off the clinch. That's why it looked anytime, even though Joshua looked great in there, you wasn't confident that he was going to survive. Anytime he could have got clipped, and that's the way I saw that fight. But the way he made adjustments and the way he stayed away from Ruiz and kept it at distance, the jab was perfect. The right hand was nice tonight. He was throwing it with a bit of rhythm as well. He weren't just fucking looping it. Do you know what I mean? It was a nice performance for me. And
He started looking like Oscar De La Hoya in there against Trinidad. He banked the first rounds to where he had a 12th round. He landed a combination that kind of won me over. But he wasn't throwing that many punches either. Just like Virtuoso saying, we can't really overrate the performance all that much either.
Well, all right, we got more phone calls. We got to move on.
Yeah, all right, Virtuoso, thank you for calling in, man. And good job with the prediction. Very good job.
No problem, man.
All right. Take it easy, Virtuoso. All right, let's move on to another phone call right real quick. We got a whole bunch lined up, so we got to go through them. 484, you're on the air. 484.
Hello?
Yes, 484, you're on the air.
Hello. Hey, what's up? Hey, good to talk to you guys. It's Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, man. I wanted to ask you guys, when's the last time we had a 2-time heavyweight champion?
That's a good... Well, wait a minute.
I don't remember the last time that happened.
Titleist or real
It's called Klitschko, bro.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter the 2-time, 4-time. That means you lost. So.
Oh, come on, Bucho. What's the matter with you?
No, it's true.
That does matter because with boxing, as the saying goes, if you haven't got a defeat, you ain't fighting the right people. Deontay Wilder will tell you that. So that don't mean to go back and win that fight. It's a mental thing. I tell you what, the torture Anthony Joshua has been through to get that win. You can only imagine the pressure. We think we got pressure. But the pressure he's under the spotlight, devastating KO defeat. He was a meme all over the internet. That is pressure. And you could see it was telling its toll. He's walking in the ring. To go through that and to put on that performance.
He has the best experience out of all boxers right now. Out of all the heavyweights. He has the best experience.
Yeah,
go ahead.
It wasn't like revenge. It wasn't like when Lennox knocked out Raham either.
No. That was different. Lennox Lewis was there to kill Rahman. He understood that was... Nobody believed him at the time that he just wasn't in good shape, At the time, people were like, he's bullshitting. He just went in there to prove to Rahman, who's been knocked out in the past, going into the first Lennox Lewis fight, that it was a fluke. So he knocked him out. Ruiz never been knocked out, never been dominated by nobody. I mean, Joseph Parker beat him, but you wouldn't call Joseph Parker's win a domination, right? So, Ruiz is a different ballgame. Ruiz is also short, good, a really good counter puncher. You got to be careful how you commit to him. Think about it. I want you to think about this. Go look at that fight. A couple of times he overshot that right overhand, right hand, and almost paid for it immediately.
That's right.
Right away. This motherfucker is like a magnet to you over. He's got magnet in his hands. That as soon as you overshoot whatever, and you get to his level, his hands go. Like that's how good of a
Yeah.
counter
Every
puncher.
time AJ made a mistake, he nearly paid for it.
He nearly
That's how
paid for it. I
dangerous
mean, this is amazing. Like
That's
this
how
fucking.
dangerous Ruiz is in there. That's how dangerous it was for Joshua. So for him to fight smart, if anyone's knows anything about boxing, then what Joshua did was the perfect game plan. Why go in there and do something that didn't work the first time? Get knocked the fuck out, trading hooks with a man like Andy Ruiz. You just
That's
don't
right.
do it. You keep it at range. We all said it on the BDA. You do your very Vladimir Klitschko. You keep it with the straight punches. You're grabbing it when you get close, and that's what you got to do. You got to keep it at range, keep away from Ruiz, and the fight's yours. You get in the pocket and start trading. Anthony Joshua is very good in the pocket, by the way. He's very good at mid-range, but Andy Ruiz is just superb at it. And Joshua loses every time if they start fighting like that. So
he did
he
get
did
caught
what he
with
had
the
to do.
punch, like around the 7th round in the end, to where he was stuck like a deer on the headlights. He was looking dejected. Joshua, he is spaced out in the air, like what's going on. But the round ended. I saw that
And
one shot by
Ruiz's
Andy Ruiz.
career, I don't think it's over yet. I think that people got to be careful. Like you got to be careful who you put up in there against him, thinking he's going to be a stepping stone. You get fucked up.
It was a big hit because they're correlating it to the Buster Douglas fight where he's a one-hit wonder and he came in 50 pounds on the next fight against his next opponent in Evander
big
Holyfield.
difference.
Hey, Ruiz, I just watched the post fight interview, and Ruiz is blaming the weight. I mean, is this guy for real?
Should be.
Is this guy fucked up for real? No, but hold on. Well, why is he blaming he didn't know that putting on more weight was gonna be detrimental to his performance?
I agree, Bucho.
The guy's nah. Let's respect him.
Can I say something real fast?
Oh, Mark did. Oh, Mark.
Yeah, I just want to say, look,
what's up, Mark?
boxing isn't just about being in the ring. It's about everything that leads up to it. It's not an excuse. You fucked up. You cost yourself the fucking performance.
Yes.
That's right. But on Rival, that's what we were saying. We were saying we get the feeling that Ruiz, he doesn't want to keep the title. He's just one of those guys that just, and you can look at his body type and you realize he's a guy that can control himself. He's fat! I didn't say that. All right, but listen. Jesus,
fat son of a bitch.
This fat son of a bitch. Jesus, anything else you want to say before we let you go? We got another
He's going to be another aging pro.
Jesus.
He's going to be a very expensive B-side. That's what he's going to be. He's a very expensive B-side, and he's going to give anyone a good fight. But he just don't seem to want it for me. I mean, to put on 15 pounds was ridiculous, especially when you're a big guy as it is. I mean,
it's all a blessing. It was a blessing. Next time around, I'm gonna actually train hard, but it's all a blessing. Thanks for the blessings.
That's a good point. It's a blessing.
Yeah, I was
Eddie Hearns
disappointed.
is a blessing.
He threw Manny Robles under the bus. He said, "I kind of had to train myself."
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Looking at him.
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
Nah, mate, that's fucking bullshit. If anyone
his-
out there is going to train you, Manny Robles is one of the best trainers out there. He didn't commit. He fucked up.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is that he had to say that.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let's get Jesus. He wants to say something. He hasn't spoken. Yeah, go ahead, Jesus.
I just want to say something real quick. Okay. Lennox Lewis got knocked out by Rahman, and then Lennox Lewis knocked out Rahman. Right. That was definitive. Who was the better guy? But in this case, I don't think we have a definitive answer. We need a third fight, in my opinion, because Ruiz knocked out fucking AJ. He knocked him out. He was bouncing him around all over the ring.
Yeah, he had 5 minutes of fame. He had his 5 minutes of fame. He got his paycheck. Move on. He did fuck all tonight. He was terrible. He
came in fat.
He made a mockery. He made a mockery of boxing tonight.
You need to give Ruiz a chance to adjust too. You can't just give one guy a chance to adjust. You got to give the other guy a chance to adjust too. If he loses, that's the reason for a rubber match.
Why did he gain so much weight though?
Biased. I mean, okay. He needs a chance to get his mind straight too, just like AJ.
He was a champion. He wasn't coming off a loss.
It doesn't matter. He wasn't. He didn't go for a fight, like Stu said before. He didn't come that night to a fight. Okay, Just like Ruiz didn't come for a fight this time. He thought he was going to have an easy night, knock him out
Well,
again.
then
So
he
he
shouldn't
needs
be a
chance to
champion.
get his shit back
And that's
together.
why we don't want a third. We don't want to. Look, one guy didn't turn up on the night because he couldn't be bothered. Tonight, Ruiz couldn't be bothered. Why do we want to see it again? It's over with. Joshua was too dominant tonight. I mean, Joshua's only going to get better and better. He's going to get more confident. He's going to probably get a little bit leaner. Going to be quicker. Ruiz is going to come in bigger. Don't be surprised to see Ruiz 293 pounds in the next one.
I don't believe this guy anymore.
There's some tactical. There's some.
I don't. I have no belief in
Hold
any
on,
reason.
hold on,
After
hold
the
on.
fight, he said
Hold on,
he wanted
hold
to
on.
become the Mexican AJ. He wanted to become the Mexican AJ. He said that after the fight, the first fight, Mexican AJ, he was gonna be in shape. Bullshit, man. I saw
But hold
him
on.
at the fucking
If you believe
Chivas
that,
game
you're
in
an
Mexico
idiot. If you
eating
believe that, you're an
nachos
idiot.
and
That's
shit.
not our fault.
Okay, hold on. Jesus,
Come on, Bucho.
I,
If you really believe that, that's.
Nah,
Jesus,
but he was supposed to come in shape. He didn't. All right.
well, listen,
So
listen, Jesus. I understand your
that makes
point.
sense.
In a perfect world, it would be great for Luis to have a third. I mean, a rubber match, another chance. But let's face the facts. If he comes in lighter, he's still a counterpuncher. What he needs is faster feet and
No,
to
he could
put.
change some tactical shit. Like it was easy. Like he wasn't cutting off the ring. He was just following him around.
Yeah, but
All you
not
gotta
against
do is
Joshua.
cut
He
off
has
the
his
ring
shot.
if you're trying to
Obviously,
block
he
it,
can
cut off
change
the
whatever
ring.
he wants, but he has to fight somebody else. Like not
Can
Joshua.
I,
Joshua will
can
not.
I interject?
Don't
He won't.
deserve it.
He's moved on. Joshua will move
Can
on.
I
He won't fight
interject
with him.
something about that? What the point he's making?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
What's going on? But yeah, no. When you come on the scene like Anthony Ruiz, I mean, remember Ruiz was released by Bob Arum, let him buy himself out of the contract. That's how bright he thought that kid's future was. And what was always the knock? He's lazy, lacks focus. That was always the knock since this kid turned pro. He has an obvious eating disorder that's tied into him emotionally, obviously. But
There you go.
when you come onto the scene, this was his one shot. He won the lotto. He got a big paycheck. But you don't, when you go right back to what your label was through your whole career, the reason Bob Arum blasted you in the first place, took $700,000 and let you out, because he just knew this kid he doesn't have it. And to show up like that when you know you're already the underdog, okay? You know that fucking Joshua finally did what I've been yelling for fucking 3 years. In fact, dude, not the fucking cap. I got like 9 people DM'd me, like I never even spoke to. Hey, dude, I heard you from the last round to this show. Been saying Joshua needed to lose 15, 20 pounds off his shoulders. That just is like, because I've been into boxing, I've been into bodybuilding. I know what it does to your body, how it feels. You don't punch harder when your shoulder girdles like that. You just don't. It might look good for the bitches, but it doesn't do nothing for your shots. Look at Wilder. Look at Mark. That's the build. You know what I mean? What's that?
Didn't they, Jimmy?
Can I say something?
Shots have just had a lot more rhythm tonight. They were a lot smoother.
Of course,
not
dude.
so
It's
robotic
robotic and
stiff.
stiff. Dude,
Hold
when
on,
you
hold on.
hold that kind of mass on your shoulder girdles up in your traps, it just takes too much oxygen to punch the blood through, and it's just too much. But my theory on this, man, this was not only remember that when you have one decent thing happen to you in your career, that's the outlier. That's not the norm. So he hasn't, not to sound mean, he doesn't deserve another shot. He hasn't earned it. He had one fucking outlier, and it seems like I said, that's it. So no, he needed to prove himself that he just wasn't a flash in the pan,
Hold on.
and he showed up and.
Yeah,
And
sorry,
to
Jimmy.
me, he didn't prove he wasn't just a flash pan.
Yeah, before we get, sorry about that, Jimmy, but I just wanted to let you finish your point, and we get Jesus. Can you say something? Last word, and because we got to move on.
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In my opinion, boxing has been kind of turned into like fencing. You know how fencing is? They have that sword with the little ball at the end, and they're not trying to hurt each other; just trying to tap each other and get the most points at the end. That's how boxing is right now. Right?
That's how sex is for me
the
too.
old rules where motherfuckers. The only time the round ended was when someone got knocked out, or someone got knocked down.
That's how
Because
sex
right
is for
now,
me
they're
too.
just
I'm just
doing
trying to tap
fencing with
somebody. Not
gloves.
forget. All right, Jesus. But that's the way boxing works now. That's the way it's always worked, man. It's
I know.
All right.
It's fucked up. It's
All right, Jesus.
like,
Thanks for the phone call, man. Call back again next time.
all right. Take it easy.
Next one.
He makes. All right, Butcher. Take it easy. Jeez. All right. 702. You're on the air. 702.
Yeah, man, this your boy.
Oh,
Get
man.
that fucking last shot all the way out of
Get
here.
off, man.
Oh,
This is
man.
ruin my day, man. Bye.
Boxing. Sit your fat ass down somewhere, nigga. This nigga was on the
He's outta here.
bullshit for
Fuck
30 minutes.
Yo,
So,
is that Honcho?
All right, man. Let
Yeah.
me get to my point, man.
Yeah, I'm out of here. Bye.
There's some.
Bye.
Yo, get your ass out of here, goofball.
all right, go ahead, please. Go ahead. Make your point, Head Honcho. The floor is yours.
Who's this?
Schooled, man.
Who's this British guy on your panel, man? Chicken stew, beef stew. He's giving Joshua way too much credit, man. He won a fight running around.
Franco boy.
I know he wasn't talking
Your boy
all
got
that the
schooled.
last time he got knocked out, huh? Not Ruiz don't deserve a rematch, huh? When your boy got knocked out, he got a rematch
After
right?
that, I don't want to see him in a boxing ring again. Never mind Anthony Joshua. Try that fat lump. Don't want to see him anywhere near a boxing ring again. If he loses 2 stones, stay away from boxing. Leave it to the fucking athletes. Don't play the joke. Go and buy another Rolls Royce and go into the sunset. Don't want to see him again.
Well, I guess you guys have a different opinion there.
No logic ass niggas.
All right, first of all, you gotta stop using the N-word over
We want
here.
to see him box a bartender off Oxford Street now. Oh, Joshua looks great. Look at that. Look at that. Joshua ran the whole fight. He ain't shit.
Honcho,
you ain't shit. You ain't shit.
Knock his fucking bobblehead off.
Your boy got schooled, man.
You ain't shit, Honcho.
That motherfucker ran. He ran like
You
3
ain't
miles in the
shit.
ring. 3 miles. He did like 50 circles.
I'm
So
gonna go to Jamaica, Queens, and smack you.
Chicken
That's what I'm gonna do.
ass niggas. I can't believe the lies I be hearing on this call show. Everybody,
So wait a minute.
Joshua is
Honcho,
great.
Honcho,
I mean,
Honcho.
What ones are you be hearing?
Sit there. Yo,
Well, hold
What
on.
lies are you be hearing?
all that bullshit.
Guys are
he got knocked around the ring.
man.
No, I'd like to ask him what lies you be hearing.
Daylights out of him. Smack some
He was
sense into him.
shaking like he had Parkinson's.
Honcho, hold on. Stu wants to. Hold on, Honcho, you gotta calm down.
Go ahead. Let's hear some good points.
No, man. Honcho.
No, come on, hold on.
Down, brother.
Jimmy
Hold
wants
on,
to.
Mr. BDA,
Hold on.
go ahead.
Jimmy wants to ask you a question, Honcho. Go ahead, Jimmy. Please.
No, I just wanted to know what lies is what. No, what I don't even want to know. What lies you be hearing?
I just want to know what kind of drugs he be doing.
Well, no, he said he's been hearing lies. I want to know what lies. That's all.
Well, yo, that motherfucker's name. I heard something about Klitschko. He was training with Klitschko. Joshua's new name is Klitschko. All he did was hold. Oh, clinching ass nigga.
Listen,
it was frustrating. That fight sucked, no doubt.
All-time great heavyweight. Dominated his division for a decade. I bet Joshua would want to be like Klitschko.
Stu, I don't remember you like talking up Joshua's performance. So I don't know why he's saying that like he's attesting that to you. It's not like you're saying it was a great. Nobody's saying Joshua had a great performance. He just did what he had to do.
I thought it was a beautiful performance, Jimmy. I thought it was
no, he did what he had to do, but
he dominated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He dominated. He lost the weight in his shoulders and he boxed. He fucking just outboxed the kid.
I never heard so much bullshit in my life.
Wait a minute, you hear yourself talk all the time.
And now y'all putting him on top of the mountain.
All right, so listen, I guess you didn't. Hold on. All right, so Honcho, listen, we got other callers. You made your point. You didn't like the way Joshua looked.
Klitschko,
but
that's his new name.
All right,
I don't want you to call him Joshua no more. His name is Klitschko.
Well, listen, you don't call the shots around here. You don't call the shots.
Great. This goes an all-time great.
All right, go fuck yourself, Honcho.
No, wait. All right. Honcho, you gotta, Honcho. Jeez, this guy won't stop, man. He sounds like a woman at the fucking DMV.
Man, keep it, keep it like level, man. Stop hyping that dude up. He ain't shit.
All right, we got your point. Listen, we gotta go. Thank you for the call, Head Honcho.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Peace.
Oh, jeez, he won't stop, man.
All right, move on.
This ain't the DMV. Honcho, we're not at the DMV,
hey,
man.
Honcho. Go somewhere and fuck yourself.
Oh, no, wait a minute. No.
This is a family show, man. This is a family show,
man. Come on.
And not with How can you say family show when we have lunatics like Hancho calling it?
Well, listen, you know that the spirit. Hold on.
Next call.
Let me talk, please.
Yeah.
The spirit of this show. Stop saying next call. The spirit of this show is that we give everybody a chance to speak. We give everybody a voice, and the more entertaining, the better. So let's go. Staying true to that spirit. We got another phone call. All right.
That's what I said. But he's talking nonsense, and he needs to back off the mic because he's shouting, and I'm struggling to hear what he's saying. So
Yeah,
I tried noise at the moment.
I tried telling him, but he won't listen. All right, 213.
Dude, you gotta talk to Hancho the way I talk to him. I have no respect for him. That's how I talk.
Come on.
Oh yes.
Well,
come on. Understands simple words, doesn't he?
All right.
But this guy knows nothing about boxing.
Hold on. We got
I'm not
another phone
surprised
call.
he's angry.
We got another happy phone call. 213. You're on the air. 213. 213. You're on the air. Going once. Going twice. 213. All right.
Bye.
All right. If you call, all right. Next call 646. You're on the air. 646. 646. You're on the air.
Hello, man.
Yeah, you're on 646. What do you want to talk about?
Oh, what's up, man? Yeah, you guys gotta change your phone call system. It's hard to know when you're on, and then the wait is so long. Sometimes I forget what the hell I want to talk about.
Well, that's sorry, but that's the way we got to set up. And sometimes some callers take up more time with their theatrics. But you've called in before, right?
Yeah, Van Media.
Yeah, dead me. Okay, thanks for calling in, man. So, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so actually, I wanted to make a prediction before, but then you guys didn't have a call-in show for the last couple of days or something, so I couldn't make a prediction because I actually predicted AJ by unanimous decision. Because if you look
that's bullshit.
We've had a show.
Wow, we're joking. We're joking.
That is
We're kidding, man.
No, if you look at the first,
what the fuck is wrong with this guy, man?
If you look at the first Ruiz versus Joshua fight, you see that Ruiz's power is actually overrated.
Let's go.
Because he never really hurt Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
He never really hurt Joshua, except for the shot behind the temple that messed up his equilibrium. All the other shots that got him, he never hurt him. Now, if Wilder or Klitschko had Joshua in the same position where his equilibrium was all fucked up, they would lay him out. They would lay him out like Ortiz. They would lay him out like Brazil. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I knew when I saw the fight again. I was like, oh shit, Ruiz his power is not that good.
About Ruiz's power.
And then his feet's kind of slow. So
I said it before
I had
the
Joshua
fight.
probably winning by unanimous decision.
Yeah, that's interesting because
Yeah,
that was
nice prediction.
Yeah, nice prediction after the fact there. Come on, man. But no, but everything you said makes sense. I mean,
next time I got to make a prediction.
But listen, it makes sense, man, because again, you had one guy, immovable object, but what do you do against an immovable object? You make him to come to you. You don't go after the immovable object. Even though AJ is a big, strong dude, he didn't want to trade with the guy. He did everything he was supposed to. Now, here's my question to you: what do you want to see next? You want to see Joshua against the winner of Fury Wilder, obviously, or you want to see him against Usyk, Dylan White?
I want to see Joshua versus either Wilder, Fury, or Usyk. I think Usyk could give him problems because of the footwork.
Great selection.
Usyk, he's too feather-fisted, so he might not hurt Joshua like that, and Joshua might just walk in and just finish him. So I don't know about that.
I think he's going to surprise you, man.
Joshua.
I think Usyk's going to surprise you with his punching power. I think he's going to surprise a couple of heavyweights with that punching power of his. He's not a feather puncher, but then again, that remains to be seen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think with that Ruiz power, though, I said it before the fight. Joshua's never hurt badly in the first fight. It was his tank that had gone. If you look at him, he's not at the first point when he went down, he got wobbled. He took him ages to recover, but he was never really seriously hurt. Even after all them shots he was taking, just falling over with pure exhaustion. So I don't think Ruiz is. I don't think Ruiz is the massive puncher himself, but it's because he throws punches and bunches. You know, accumulation of punches is not good for anyone's health. So. Yeah, you're right. The punching power was overrated.
If there was one punch tonight that not rocked him, but definitely got Joshua's opinion. The 6 seconds left in the fourth round, and it was sloppy because it was where he was pulling away, and Ruiz threw a right uppercut, and the way it caught Joshua. And if you didn't notice it, he held it right, but it was right away. He came off the ropes, and you could tell it where he was kind of walking. Then he grabbed him from underneath, like underhooked him from underneath. You grab, like, he wouldn't have desperately grabbed him unless he was a little shook. But and you could even tell he kind of stood, and when he went to walk back to his own, he had to kind of grab his equilibrium. That rocked him a little. But it happens all the time. Anytime you box, you're getting rocked a little bit. It's just it's like shooting dope, man. You keep shooting until the only difference from ODing and dying is just fucking because you OD every time. So it's the same thing. You get rocked every time. Just does that the night your lights go out.
Jimmy, sounds like you're talking out of experience there.
What's that? No, seriously, that's what this kid would hang around. He you saw that movie, Lost Lives on High on Crack Street. What's that?
Got Charlie Sheen on the line, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, right. Well, no, man, you saw that show, Lost Lives on High. Dickie Eklund smoking the crack. It wasn't just crack. All those motherfuckers were shooting dope. So when we stopped with Dickie, believe me, I've been around a lot of heroin addicts. A lot of fucking crack kids, man. That's why Lost Lives in Lowell, High on Crack Street, hit this city hard, real hard in the 80s. Like, everybody was piping. Everybody. Thank God I just never fucked. I hated the smell. The smell of burnt plastic made me sick. That's what it smelled like to me anyway. So
yeah, I was piping
never
too.
fucking tried it.
I was laying down the pipe back in LA in the 90s. Now listen, caller.
Still lay the pipe down.
That's right. Now, hold on a second. Before we continue, real quick, Chris K. Shout out to Chris K. who just donated with the super chat. He's Anthony Sugar Ray Joshua. Sugar Ray Joshua. Oh, yeah. You can say Sugar Ray Joshua, or you can say Ali. Some people are comparing him to Ali now because he outboxed. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can I get my final thoughts on the card?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was a pretty lackluster card. I mean, except for the Povetkin fight, I think it was kind of boring.
Yeah,
Joshua put on a good performance, but the fight itself was pretty boring. I always call Joshua the Black Klitschko, and then tonight he proved that he was the Black Klitschko, man.
Well, listen, that makes sense.
When did Joshua ever look like Klitschko before tonight? When has he ever looked like Klitschko before tonight? When has he ever been boring? I mean, you're making these statements.
Most of the fight.
And you've always called him the Black Klitschko. How could you call him the Black Klitschko?
Tonight,
he had 21 knockouts in 22 fights.
Tonight he actually looked.
Do you know what I mean? He was knocking. Yeah, man.
Tonight he actually looked different from every other fight. He actually looked kind of fluid tonight. The other fights, he looked exactly like Klitschko, very robotic. And actually,
I wouldn't. No, he wasn't robotic tonight. I wouldn't put him with the Klitschko thing, but I will admit though, myself, I personally think his style has slightly changed since the Klitschko fight. And if that happens to a lot of fighters, when you first taste the canvas and you get rocked, it happened even with Thurman when what's his name rocked. Remember, he changed his style. I think since that fight, it's not as like because even going against Klitschko is much more. It's like a lion, dude. Once the mane changes colors, once they lose that first fight, it's always in the back of their head. So I see a little different, subtle, but it's a different change in the style. But he's definitely not the Black Klitschko. But that's just my opinion.
I just got a question for you guys.
Tonight, I can see the comparison tonight. I can see the comparison tonight. He said he's always called him it. Now, Joshua wasn't that fight. He was nothing like Klitschko before tonight. He was quite flat-footed at times, and he was just throwing bombs, trying to get the knockout. Quite exciting. Let's be real. Well, there's a couple of duel fights in there, but even Mike Tyson had duel fights. Go and watch Bone Crusher Smith. I mean, that put you in a coma. Never mind to sleep. So hold on. Every heavyweight has a bad night. He's an exciting guy, man.
Let the caller respond, and caller, we got to move on to another phone call. So the last word for you.
I got a question for you guys. Don't you guys tell me? You guys think is it weird that somehow Joshua was able to lose 10 pounds of muscles and then also gain a lot of stamina just in over 4 or 5 months? I mean, I think something's going on.
No.
Think of that with me, but come on.
I think it is a bit weird to be honest.
Steroids doesn't affect you. There's no PED that helps your stamina. There's only EPOs and blood doping.
I think it's just simply. I think it just simply comes down to from my experience. I mean, you can believe me if you want to or not. I've never used PEDs, but just cut down on the muscles and you'll see how fast. Like just do more cardio. Get yourself leaner. When you get yourself leaner, you'll see yourself a lot. You'll see yourself faster.
You're 100% correct, brother. 100%.
Yeah, recognize doesn't
That's why I said prime young Cassius Clay was a perfect physique for a heavyweight fighter. Lean, sharp, quick, on his feet. That's a perfect physique. You don't want to be going in there like some fucking WWE wrestler because you're going to pay on the night. It burns oxygen, muscle does. It slows you down. It makes you more robotic. You're more telegraphed. It's just a horrible size to be at. Jeff Lacey, I mean, he was far too big when he fought Calzaghe. You know, I mean, can land all night. So you've got to be lean. And I like this new Joshua, man. I like the way he fights now. He could up his work a little bit. I'd like to see him be a bit more busy in this next fight, but I like this Joshua style.
He showed better balance than he has. You can see that
way,
extra weight has helped his
by the way,
balance too, losing all that extra girdle weight off his legs. He had better balance, I thought, tonight.
All right, hold on. The
Them
caller
legs
was
were like tree trunks. You didn't.
caller. One last thing, and then we have to move on because we got other calls.
Okay. By the way, all the people that saying that Dillian White is quote unquote innocent, he was clear. Doesn't mean that he was not guilty. In the report they state that he did have metabolized of steroids. But the thing is, they dropped the case. If you drop the case, it doesn't mean that he was innocent. You know, mafia members used to kill people, and then they scared the what you call it, the witnesses, and then the case get dropped. Doesn't mean they didn't kill the people.
That's true. That's my uncle Ramon. He got off on a technicality, but he did the crime, man.
So did
Ramon. Yeah.
He got matchroom and he got money now, and he got lawyers. That's why UCAT is not the WBC. UCAT don't have money and backing to take.
He's not any more guilty than anybody else.
Promotions into court. So that's why they
Wilder
have to
needs
drop
to fight his number one mandatories. That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Or if not, dump the WBC belt. That's it. Give it to
Look, they all
somebody who's going to defend their belts against their mandatory.
They all got blood on their hands. All right, we got to move on to another caller. Thanks for calling in.
By the way, Chisora beats Usyk. Okay. Thanks.
Oh,
yeah,
all
sure.
right. We'll leave him on that.
Brave call.
Yeah.
All right, we got to move on to another phone call because they're lined up today, man. Let's see. Well, let's try 213. Let's try again. All right, 213. 213. Are you there?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? What do you want to talk about?
What's up?
What's up?
Let's talk about it. Hey, you know what? What am I talking to a barrel of monkeys over here? Don't you guys know anything about boxing?
No, we don't. Why don't you educate us?
Why don't you teach us? Hey,
it's a heavyweight championship fight. It's not a featherweight champion.
It's a heavyweight championship fight.
Lose. You know why he lost? Because he wasn't a heavyweight. This is a heavyweight fighter. It doesn't matter how much pounds he gained. He's a heavyweight fighter. He's going to win and knock out Joshua in the first round. You watch it. You watch. And I'm going to tell you another thing.
What the hell are you talking about?
What are you talking about? The fight already happened.
Hold on. 213. Can you hold on for a second? Can you hold on for a second? We didn't catch the first part because you went by it so fast. Who are you saying is going to knock Joshua out?
In the first round.
Who is gonna knock Joshua out? Who's gonna knock? We didn't catch that part. Jeez, we didn't catch that part. We didn't catch who is going to knock Joshua out. Who is gonna knock Joshua out in the first round?
The champion. Who's the champion?
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them.
Ruiz.
All right,
Ruiz, that fight already happened. He lost. Does he know the fight already took place?
I don't even know why they're
Hang up on this call, man. Hang up on this call, please.
No, wait, hold on. I want to try to figure out what's going on here. I want to try to figure out what's going on.
He's trolling you, man. He's trolling.
Yeah.
But you're saying hold on. You're saying he's trolling. Maybe he woke up and he's living in the past, and we can have a little fun with this. Look at him. He's still talking in the background.
Holy shit.
Yo,
I'm
this
telling
guy's
you,
on crack,
just
man.
that dude's meds. I'm not fucking around.
So Joshua is going to lose against Ruiz?
Are you saying Joshua is going to lose against Luis?
He's calling you from your...
Joshua
what's he fucking time travel?
Hold on, let him answer. Let him answer. So, are you picking Luis in the rematch by knockout?
Hey, Luis is the champion.
That's right.
Not giving him credit. He's
from yesterday.
He moves like a butterfly.
Yeah, go watch the fight, man.
My brother.
All right, so hey, hold on. Let me ask you. Hold on.
I don't think. I seriously don't think he knows the fight happened.
No, wait, hold on.
It didn't.
In the morning.
Caller,
The fight already happened, man.
Hold on. Caller, where are you gonna watch the fight? Where are you gonna watch the fight?
I don't even know why they took it away out to the Saudi Arabia. Because King paid $100 million for it to be there.
But where are you gonna go watch it? Are you gonna watch it in a bar, at home, with your family?
Why Joshua take to doing all the shots and say how it's gonna be?
Caller, you need to open. Caller, where are you gonna?
Move on.
All right, we gotta move on, caller. But thank you for calling in and adjust those meds of yours. All right. And get on
or
get back
either
on.
that or go back to the 8th of December 2019.
Yeah,
Hey,
Get back to real.
hey, caller. I want to know where whatever drugs you're doing, send some over here.
Mescaline.
I mean, seriously, I was waiting for the motherfucker to ask us, hey, you guys know where my car keys are? And this dude was fucking lost. Like, seriously. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is this like close to some psychiatrist line?
Yeah.
People getting this shit.
It's on a parallel universe.
Dr. 805.
I mean, if there's a nutcase about
order
to
a
find us.
burger with
You
some
know what I
French
think
fries,
happened? I think Dr.
soda.
I think Dr. 805 gave him their his patients their number, and that's what they're calling back
You
in
give
now.
me Dr. 805's number because I want a burger with cheese.
Hey, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Hey,
I'm not talking a bunch of barrels.
I think Duran's gonna beat Sugar Ray Leonard in the rematch.
All right, hold on. We got another call. 240. You're on the air. 240.
Oh yeah.
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Vinny. What's up?
Oh, okay. Yeah, how are you?
It's not
Yeah.
Vinny.
So I'm gonna first of all say congrats to Ruiz. I know he lost, right?
What?
But congrats to him. Why? Because he answered a question. Because both of those boxers answered a question. So Ruiz has to prove that the first fight wasn't a fluke, right? So I saw that, yeah, it wasn't a fluke. And AJ said that he's going to make some changes, adjustments, and win the fight. And he answered that question too, so he won the fight. So congrats to those two guys. Now I'm going to talk. Hello?
Yeah, you're still in the air.
We're here.
Hi? Yeah, can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. So you heard what I said, or I have to repeat?
No, we heard what you said. Keep going.
No, we heard what you said. I'm kind of shocked by it because Ruiz fought so horribly.
Hold on. Only what you said.
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Keep going.
We hear you fine. Please
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, no problem. So second thing I want to talk about is the stamina issue of Joshua that a lot of people were talking about, and that he has to lose some muscle, those weight and stuff. So it's part of it, right? But why he has that stamina issue, why he gas so much, because he gets some shot on the back of his head here and on the top of his head. And those one, that's not a fake accent. Somebody said I'm using a fake accent. No, that's my accent. Anyways, so on the back of his head.
Are you from Africa?
So you need.
Let him finish.
From Africa, from Ivory Coast, West Africa. So he get those shots on the back of his head, right? And you need oxygen, right, to go to your brain, and the blood flows oxygen through your vein going there. And when those veins get smashed, the blood doesn't flow that much. And then the blood, you need the blood a lot. I mean, you need that blood a lot. Why? Because you're doing some movement, and the blood is not arriving, and then you get gas. You can't because you get those shots. So even though it was lighter, if you get those shots, it will be dizzy, and then it will gas. That's one of the things. So he tried to keep the distance, not too much because he was afraid of getting punches, but he learned his lesson the first time. And he knew that with an engagement that he has with Ruiz, he might lose that thing and maybe he might get the first thing that he get the first fight. So he get his distance. So that's one thing. And another thing is we have to give Joshua his credit about being humble, recognizing what happened the first fight, and then also make the adjustment that he made and keeping the game plan he said he's going to do, right? He said he's going to keep the game plan. He's going to do a game plan. He kept that game plan from start to the end, and that was it. So what is his name? Ruiz wanted Joshua to be in the middle so they can fight. Like, come here at the end. Like, no, I'm not going to come here. Let me win those belts first. Then after that, I can.
That's
come
what
here
boxing's about, bro.
like
That's
a better fight.
it weren't about looking good. It wasn't about looking good and looking impressive for the fans. It was about getting the win and looking good in the next one. Joshua's career has took a massive boost. The options there for him now. He's back on track.
That's why I said. I mean, listen,
this fight was very important to him. I think that's why he fought like that. There was just so much to lose, and I think you can respect that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to see that all the time. I don't want to see him fighting like that all the time because I believe he's better than that.
Dude, he said as much in an interview. He knew, like he said, just what you said. this is it. If I lose again, I mean, come on. How do you come back from that?
Boxing fans
This was so important to him.
Boxing
This is the
fans
fight
have
of his life.
short-term memory. A lot of short-term memory. There's been fighters that
All right,
actually got better from a loss. You get better from a loss. This is mental.
Hold on. Let me. Can I just say something, caller, before we let you go, because we do have to move on to yeah, caller. Before we move on, because we got other calls. Can you just say real quickly that the most important thing is the blood? Can you just say that for my soundbite, please?
Yeah. Yeah. So the blood is flowing. I mean, the blood is bringing oxygen to the brain,
That's right.
To those veins. So when he gets shot, when he gets some shot on the back of his ears or on the top of his head, right? Those veins get smashed. So the flow is reduced. So the oxygen is also reduced. So your brain needs that. It's need those oxygen, and those oxygen are not coming. So you get tired a lot.
That's right.
But say, caller, say it again though. Just say for the soundbite. He wants you to say.
No, that's okay.
Blood
Jimmy.
is the most important thing. Is that what you wanted him to say?
No. That's he got his point across. We got to move on to other phone calls.
I thought you were trying to make it like a soundbite thing. Sorry, never mind. Forget me.
Hey, good caller, man. Good call.
Good call.
Shout out to West Africa, man.
Yeah, shout out to West.
I was gonna say.
Shout out to West Africa.
Hold on, guys. Come on. You gotta let me finish with the calls because we can.
All right, guys. BDA, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, caller. Thank you for calling in. We gotta move on to another call, but call back next time. All right, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shout out to West Africa. Shout out to West Africa. Yeah, right. Hold on a second, guys. All right, Bucho, what do we do? Do we just keep taking phone calls or because?
Well, just take them quickly though. I'll time it.
Okay, yeah, please time him. All right, because we do have. All right, 585. You're on the air. 585.
How you guys doing? This is
Vince. Jeez. All right, yeah. Hi, Vince. How you doing, man?
Vinny. Vinny. No Pepsi
how you guys
tonight,
doing?
huh?
I'm pretty upset right now. I'm tired of Mr. Joshua running around the ring thinking he's Floyd Mayweather.
Tired of you and your Pepsi.
Young Cassius Clay, get it right, man. Young Cassius Clay.
Yes, I just believe. I mean, I just been robbed. I don't know what to say, guys. This is horrible. I demand a rematch. Thank you.
All right.
This is what happens when you steal the zone and you don't pay for your own shit. So you get what you deserve.
Wasn't that the rematch?
No, he gets what he deserves.
Go and get your refund off Andy Ruiz. Because he's the reason you're disappointed tonight. Because he was dreadful. He couldn't close the distance. He was slow. He didn't do enough for a start. He just wasn't working enough. Let Joshua fight at his own pace, his own rhythm, and just couldn't cope with the movement Joshua had.
Dude, listen, he couldn't deal with it. He couldn't deal with the jab.
He couldn't
deal with the jab.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
The jab was bossing all the fight all night. Every time Ruiz got near him, he got that jab put in his face.
Ruiz was breathing to his mouth a few times too. I'm telling you, the time change, the air travel, and that fat around his belly, he was paying for it. It was eventually going to catch up.
Wait, let Vinny go ahead, Vinny.
Yes, I'm just really upset because Mr. Joshua got all these belts. Now unification is ruined because Mr. Eddie Hearn and Mr. Joshua are running away from the most feared fighter in boxing, and Mr. Deontay, the Bronx Bomber Wilder, guys. And I'm just really upset right now, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I can't talk right now. I have to talk on the next show.
You need a hug?
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, go fuck
yourself. Bye.
Go have a Pepsi, man. No, hold on, guys. Let's come on.
I was gonna say, BDA. Can I say something?
Hold on a second, please. Yes, please. Just give me a second, Gonzalo, because we got a lot going on.
Sure.
Just tell Vinny, have a Pepsi, take it easy. Maybe have some ice cream or something. Whatever women do when they're menstruating. All right, shout out. Thanks for calling in, man.
Mr.
Have some acid. Calm down.
I'll see you guys on the next show. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Vinny. I'm just yanking your chain. All right, sorry, Gonzalo. What do you want to say?
I would say how things change so quickly. I think we can all agree that if Andy Ruiz was candidate fighter of the year, that would not end. It could possibly be Joshua, but if not Canelo, Mr. Alvarez.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, hold on. Listen, I think we got G Boogie on the line, so you guys take him. I gotta go for 2 minutes, but G, are you on the line?
Boogie, man.
Yes, sir. How y'all gentlemen doing?
Good to have you on board, man. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I just want to say to the first guy that I heard while I was in the background, cocaine is a hell of a drug. And the African brother the African brother that called in, I'm going to say this: Habariyaku undugu. That means, in translation in Nigerian, that means, "What's up, my brother?" And for Vinny Man,
is that where he's from,
I'm going to say
Nigeria?
this for huh?
Biggie bring the languages to the BDA show.
Damn right, multi-language, all over the
That's
world.
it.
Everybody's listening in to BDA podcast.
Right, the place to
Because
be
this
right
is
now.
the true-
Post-fight, Anthony Joshua Ruiz. So, what was your opinion on the fight, my man? Was it Joshua that good, or was Ruiz really poor on the night? I think a bit of both.
In the last podcast that I, was talking about, Joshua had to keep the distance with Ruiz. He had to learn that because he couldn't go in there and brawl with him because Ruiz, like the African dude was talking about, that he hooks and he got tight hooks, and his hooks, when it comes around, is coming in like in between the ear and the cerebellum, and it threw him off on the first fight. And plus, Ruiz got a tendency when he throws his hook, he pulls you down.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's from what the other guy was saying, and which is true. If you look at the first fight, that's what happened. When in the first knockdown, he hit him in the back of the head and just pulled him down. And then on this fight, he tried to do the same thing when they was in the clinches because he was getting pissed. He wanted to fight, and he thought that Joshua was going to fight him when Joshua's plan was, nah, buddy, I'm not going to come down to your level. I'm going to keep popping you every time you step in. I'm going to keep that long range and that mid range. When I come in mid range, I'm going to set you up, boom, and step back and keep you out of my range, which that was smart of him.
Do you know what impressed me the most, though, G Boogie? That he kept to his game plan, because it was quite easy he was hurting Ruiz with big shots. It's quite easy to jump in there and get caught with a big shot, but he kept his discipline. He realised that Ruiz is dangerous when he's hurt, and that's not a smart thing to do. So he kept his distance, kept on his game, and all right, it was a bit frustrating to watch at times. It is, because when you're in, you want to see boxing, you want to see good skills, but you want to see punches being thrown. And there was times when there was nothing being thrown by either man. It was quite tough on the eye to watch. But we understand that Joshua had to do what he had to do.
Yes, because he knew he had to stay in the range. He can't come in a close enough range that Ruiz can, like in mid-range. That was his danger zone. And every time when he tried to throw that overhand right, he brushed Ruiz, and Ruiz came back with his own left, and then tried to throw a right over it, and and try to do his thing, his combination. But he had the right game plan, which was stay long distance, use your reach, come in. If you're coming in, step behind the jab coming in to get that one hard shot, and then take that half step back so he can't touch you and make him frustrated.
He needs to work on his clinching. He needs to work on his clinching, because every time he was in the clinch, he was getting caught with shots.
Yeah, but I kind of want to see Joshua give in like some exciting performances from here on out too, not just do what he did tonight.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Gonzalo.
Of course.
No, that's all I want to say.
I didn't hear you, Gonzalo.
I'm just hoping that he got power, that he can still go in there and give us some exciting performances. This was good for this style. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course, we don't want to see that all the time. I understand what Gonzalo's saying, but like I said, it was about winning tonight. Look good in your next fight. The pressure was on. His career was on the line. This is not about pressing the fans tonight. This is about getting the job done. And I thought it was a very good performance. It's what he needed to. And let's be real, he looked a lot stronger on his feet today. He was taking the shots better. All right, he lost a bit of weight. People said, his punch resistance could be even worse. No, he was seeing them shots. and bracing for the punches, and he was taking them a lot better.
It just goes to show, like, Stu, last time wasn't a clean knockout as much as it was like a combination of he was exhausted. Same when you're drunk. When you're drunk, you can get knocked out so easy. The reason why I picked Joshua for unanimous decision is before I called in, all I did was the last picture I saw of him with his shirt off. I tried to find the date on it. And when I saw how much weight he lost to his shoulders, I said, okay, this motherfucker is serious. He is taking this dead serious. And I don't buy the whole, he must have been on steroids before. No, because he must have been on steroids to get stamina now and lose all that muscle. No, that's not how it goes at all. When you're on junk, you just stop taking it. You shrink. I'm not saying he was on drunk. I'm just saying he didn't need to take steroids to get small if he was. And even if he wasn't, when you lose all that, that's all you're going to do. That extra stamina is a direct correlation to the fucking girdle, the shoulder girdle, all that. He must have lost 25 pounds in his traps and shoulders.
I thought he looked
That's a lot of fucking weight.
I'd still like to see him shed another few more pounds. I just would. I think he looked great tonight.
In his legs. I think he could lose a little more weight in his legs. It takes a long.
That's his problem.
It takes a long time to lose. Your upper body will go quickest. It's strange. Whatever grows the hardest to grow usually last will hang out the longest. But he's got thick legs, and he used to train them real hard and heavy. So it's going to take a little longer for his legs to go down.
So I tell you what, though, this is a good thing for boxing. Even if you're an Andy Ruiz fan, later on down the line, you'll realise that this was good for boxing because now there's some big fights that could be made. I don't think Andy Ruiz had any heart for boxing at all. He's in it for the paychecks. He would have given that belt away to Wilder. Not saying he would have just handed it over. He'd have gone in the ring and fought like that tonight, and Wilder would have won on points or something. Dr. Ruiz. Do you know what I mean? So, I think it's good for boxing. Big fight to look forward to now.
All right, Butcher sounding the bell. We gotta move on to another phone call. But G-Boogie, stay on the line, all right? We're gonna keep you on the line. We're just gonna take another phone call. But
I didn't realize we were timing him. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, but G-Boogie is gonna stay on the line because we're just gonna move on to another call. Real quick, 915. You're on the air. 915.
Yes, thank you, gentlemen. Soy Latino from El Paso, Texas.
Orale.
I'm a big fan. Orale, canal. But I'm a fan of Ruiz, and I've only gotten into boxing because of Ruiz. I follow the mixed martial arts, UFC in particular, but I've been studying some of these guys for the heavyweights. You guys are talking about a lot of great points. There are some big hitters out there, but I don't hear anybody speaking about Anthony Joshua when it comes to, is this going to be his final lose? I believe Joshua may lose up with these other competitors. So I keep hearing everybody saying, oh, well, Anthony Joshua, he came back and this and that. Obviously, there's a lot of politics in this. And I believe one of the other individuals that are on the panel said the politics about this. Anthony Joshua brings in big money. Everybody knows this. And this is good for heavyweights. As such, some of these other people are contributing on this. But nobody talks about if this is Anthony Joshua's last lose. I think we're seeing a lot of dynamics when it comes to these heavyweights. And yeah, I guess Andy Ruiz is a part of this. So this is good for boxing because I used to do boxing Golden Gloves when I lived in Stockton, California. I got out of it, played rugby, did mixed martial arts. I thought boxing was boring. As such, one of the other callers was talking about how it's a fencing game when it comes to jabs and points. I kind of felt that way for a long time. But I'm just posing the question, what is going to happen with Anthony Joshua? Let's just say he takes another loss. Because I believe even this win was a big one for next money fights. Boxing, UFC is for all money. It's all political, really. Let's be honest.
Well,
but let's just
can
say
I
Anthony Joshua lose.
Joshua deserves to win tonight.
Yeah, go ahead.
Even with politics, Joshua.
Stu, let G Boogie wants to answer that one first.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
With Anthony Joshua, if he takes another loss, it wouldn't affect him from what I see because he is the cash cow of the whole division. Okay, because Deontay Wilder don't want to fight him. He was already offered his record-breaking purse of $100 million. He didn't want to take it. Okay, Andrew Ruiz, he gave Mexico, he showed how Mexican fighters are. They got cojones, all right? And this is not a downfall for him. This is a stepping stone from what I see. From if he really comes back into the shape that he was supposed to come on this fight and start getting lighter on his feet, man, he's going to be hell to be dealing with in the heavyweight division. This guy has speed, power, my speed, my movement, he got all that. And it's up to the other contenders of the heavyweight division to participate in it and want to make the fights. And if they make the fights with all of them coming in with, I'll say within the 2-year time period, man, heavyweight division is going to be outstanding. You got, Hunter, he didn't look all that good against Povetkin, older man, but, he gave what he got. And I say he's a B-rated fighter. You got Usyk. He's got fast feet. He could probably beat Joshua if Joshua fights him in that manner that he fought Ruiz. But if Joshua comes in as a Terminator, that might be a harder fight for Usyk. Deontay Wilder,
can I add to that?
one-hitter quitter. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say to the caller, if he takes a loss, he takes a loss, but you face the best competition, and you add to your resume and your legacy. Because you got other fighters within the zone, like Usyk, that can take over the reins. But you do what you need to do and stop making the other guys that are not taking the fights and these networks, and you show them how it's done.
Yeah,
I would agree
concur
with
that notion, sir.
Yeah, it's all politics and money with these fighters. That's
Well,
what it's
listen,
always been. And I'm just, if I may, I'm just saying, like, let's just say Anthony Joshua does take a loss. And then let's just remind ourselves, Andy Ruiz has only lost twice. Out of all of his fights, I believe it was 32, 23 or whatnot, vice versa. But even then, would that be the third trilogy? Because everybody's talking about the third trilogy. Oh, the third trilogy. I don't think there's no money there. Look at the UFC. They don't do third trilogies. There's no money to be won there.
Trilogies are hard to sell, bro. I mean, listen, when you go past history, how many trilogies have we had? There's not been many. You had Gatti Ward, you had Morales Barrera, I think. You had
Marcus Pacquiao.
Holyfield.
Yeah, Marcus Pacquiao went over 3.
Pacquiao versus Marquez.
Rafael Marquez versus Vasquez. But listen, it's not the same thing though. We can't really compare UFC MMA with boxing all that much. But also, here's the other thing, caller. A loss does not ruin your career. That's what a lot of these promoters seem to be afraid of. But look at Joshua. He lost in one of the worst ways possible, which was a knockout. The only other way, the worst way would have been if he would have quit crying or shit his pants while he's quitting. He got knocked out. He came back, got the win, and now he's back on top of the world. That's all you got to do. You lose, you come back. Even if you don't get revenge, all you got to do is get a couple of big wins, a couple of good performances, and you're back in the good graces of the people. That's the way it works. That's the way it's always worked.
And then, not to continue your thought, look at Prograis Taylor. I mean, that fight. I don't want to not see Prograis any less because of that loss, right? No matter who lost that fight that night, right? No matter who lost, right, guys? You want to see both of them fight again.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
He even got the honor roll in the post card that BDA did.
Oh yeah, the cards. Yeah. We need to do that again with everybody. All right. So, caller, thank you for anything else you want to say before we let you go.
Just one thing. I didn't mean to come off biased, but I did agree with the British lad that Anthony Joshua did change up his style. And if this is going to be his new style, are we just paying for boring fights, kind of deal? So I'll just leave it there. I just want to say I'm a subscriber now, and I'm following you guys, and thank you for taking the call.
Well, thank you for calling in.
Viva
And what?
la raza.
Órale, viva la raza, Holmes.
Viva
Hey,
la raza.
what do we call you?
Simón.
What do we call you for the next time you call in? El Gallo Negro or
El Mero Mero?
El Mero Mero?
Avel, survive.
Avel, all right. Take it easy, Avel. Thanks for calling in, man.
Thanks for calling in, buddy.
God bless.
All right,
God
bless you. Hey, we got a caller who wants to predict Kovalev Canelo. Do we let him on or? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, somebody wants to predict Ali Foreman. Yeah. Hey, I think you guys don't know shit about boxing. Ali's gonna knock him out. All right, take it easy. All right, that was the phone calls, man. We got. I think we got. Who? Okay, hold on. Let me just get. I don't know if it's the same person. 702. Are you on the
Hello.
air? Yeah, 702. You're on the air.
Hello. Yes. I'm
Yeah.
calling from. Yeah, I was actually rooting for Joshua. I thought Joshua was going to go in and just say, "Hey, I am the captain now." Just knock Ruiz out in the first couple of rounds, but he didn't go there to fight. He just went there to pick up his belt. So it wasn't more like a fighter today. He was just running around the ring like Mayweather. It was more like Anthony Mayweather instead of Anthony Joshua.
But
That
we
was
did.
exciting. But he got some good feet today, though. He got the feet of Muhammad Ali today. I was really surprised he moved those feet. You know, it's very stiff in his previous fight. It's always stiff, but today he was really flexible. I thought he was going to gas out like 5-6 rounds, but he was able to keep up the cardio from round 1 to 12. That was really that was a good performance from him.
Yeah, it was very impressive. But caller, didn't you think, or didn't you expect Joshua to do what he did in this fight? I mean, you knew he wasn't gonna go in there and trade with Luis. It would have been suicide.
Yes, I like before the fight, I thought I looked all the possible way for Joshua to beat Ruiz. I said it's not going to be possible. I said the only possible way is for Joshua to keep Ruiz out of his pocket, to keep the distance. That was what he did today, was keeping the distance, and he was fighting Ruiz, keeping the distance. And each time Ruiz goes to the pocket, he kind of like hug Ruiz and make sure it doesn't like continue in the pocket, and the referee kind of separated him a little bit in the start again. So Ruiz was upset because each time Ruiz goes into the pocket, Joshua would always give him a hug and just try to reset the fight all over again, which was really, really good. It was a good tactic.
Well, that's a good point, guys. What did you think about the referee? Because I think we talked about it slightly before the fight. Luis Pabon, who he's kind of hands-on, but I never saw him warning Joshua for any of the clinches. What did you guys
Joshua
think?
should have been warned a few times. In my opinion, I think Joshua should have got a few warnings.
Yeah, I would have
A few
warned
times he reached
Joshua.
out
I would have
too
warned
much
Joshua
probably.
to stop doing it because he was getting beat
I
up.
believe he warned him.
I don't think the holding was too bad. And if anything, the holding was actually costing Joshua because he was getting punched.
Exactly.
I thought it was detrimental to him.
But you know what I mean, Steve? You can do it organically.
No.
Punish a guy.
What happened? What?
Ruiz was really mad. Like, I would be angry too because each time I'm giving my combinations, you always try to like put the fight on the reset. Ruiz got angry, and the referee was giving Joshua the star advantage because Joshua should like get some warning or something like that. So
And he's probably so mad he probably wanted to fight him and knock him out. Oh, that's right. You should have went. You know what I mean? He should have went and slapped him. But he didn't.
I didn't see many clinching at all. Joshua couldn't afford to clinch. Every time he clinched, like I said, he was getting hit. So
I tell you who didn't have a problem with him clinching.
More the footwork and the keeping away from.
All right, hold on.
He can be.
What about Ruiz getting 15 pounds? That was like, I thought like that 15 pounds was going to slow him down, but he didn't slow down. He kept moving. He kept moving. He was actually stalking Joshua. We were just looking for that.
Ruiz came in
for the
to
right
knock him out.
Yeah.
Ruiz at 280 pounds, he gained 15, 16 pounds. He came to knock Joshua the fuck out. If Joshua engaged him, he was going to knock him out.
Round 3. Joshua was up no matter round 3. And Ruiz reminded me of Buster Douglas. After he knocked Mataki out in Tokyo, he came back. Well, Mataki wasn't available for the rematch, so he came back to fight Evander Holyfield. He came back. It was heavy, but although it didn't work out for him, though.
No, it didn't.
Yeah,
And just
but
one.
That was same tactics
Ruiz was using today.
With Buster Douglas, that was a different thing. Mentality wise, and if you look at the whole scenario after he won against Tyson and Holyfield, he was out of shape. He didn't have the vigor and the mental capacity to keep continuing. While Ruiz is different. Ruiz is a special, like Gonzalo said it the other day. Ruiz is a special fighter. He comes to fight. Even Freddie Roach said he don't need to lose too much of the weight when he first fought Joshua. He just needs to stay around that weight and do what he do, because that's his natural gifts. He has natural gifts.
All right, listen. Caller, we need to move on, but thank you for calling. And we'll leave you the last word. What do you want to say?
I would say the unification fight, the more they keep dunking themselves for the unification fight, the more we start getting tired of them. Because if there's no one champion, one face, one belt, the argument will keep going. Like, we need to fight a fight, because they should have both entered like the ring undefeated. Right now, one already had a tie, one's already defeated. So the fight is not going to be of the magnitude it would have had if they came into the ring with a clean sheet. But now both of them already had one had a tie, one had a loss on his record already. So it's not going to be like it would have been the fight of the century. Yeah, it would have been the fight of the century if they came into the fight wider and Joshua undefeated.
If I may just interject there.
All
right, if I may just interject there, I understand that is true. Big fights between undefeated fighters are bigger, but take a look at Pacquiao Mayweather. Pacquiao got knocked the fuck out against Marquez. Then he came back, got a couple of good wins, and that Mayweather fight still remains to this day the biggest fight ever. So I don't think it's going to affect it too much if it does happen.
Yeah, hopefully, but the Pacquiao and Mayweather case was different. Mayweather was still undefeated.
Yeah, but
he didn't have a tie,
But if he fights Wilder,
Hey, caller, what about when Muhammad Ali fought and 70 million people, 65 million more watched him, and they both had losses? I appreciate you're a young man, probably. This whole loss, this obsession with losses, that's a Mayweather construct. He did that to put himself above everybody. But if you look through history, Sugar Ray, look at Chavez, man. He was 50-0. It was a bunch of guys were 50-0, but he just jumped on that and he's the one who blew that.
Chavez was about 90-0 at one time.
Like 81, I think his 81 professional fight before he finally lost. But I want to point one thing out.
86-0.
86. I want to point out something. Ruiz left. He's not with Top Rank anymore, so he signed with Heyman. But do you see these little things when you're not represented properly? What happened? Where he was the heavyweight champion, shame on him like that. I bet you there's all kinds of things his people, being Heyman, didn't take care of. The fact that it was a 22-foot ring is insane. How he let that happen? That should have been no more than 18, 20 tops. He let the biggest ring possible. I guaranteed it was double foamed, probably, or double padded, so it was even squashier, so it's hard to move for a fatter guy. You know what I mean? Joshua would come in and lean like that, up on his toes in a 22-foot ring. You know how much those 2 extra feet, if you guys box, right, that's 2 extra feet make such a difference when you're trying to evade. So much of a difference. And the fact that he was the heavyweight champ and allowed that, well, that's what you get when you sign with someone who doesn't really care.
Oh, come on. Now, wait a minute. I'm not going to let you do that.
One more comment, please. But
one last comment, yes.
Joshua adopted today can only work for a short fighter like a Ruiz, which is like 6'3" tall. But if he goes and fight someone who's the same range, the same height like Wilder, it's not going to be able to keep distance. You have to fight. It's not just going to be jabbing and running around. So it needs to get his confidence back and be able to stand in the middle of the ring like he usually does.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Caller, I don't think that Joshua on all the other fights is going to fight this way. With this opponent, he had to.
I know.
He's not going to do that with every opponent.
No, because you can't. If Anthony Joshua fights like he did tonight against Deontay Wilder, he gets knocked out. and I put my house on it.
Plus, it's the first time he ever fought with that weight. He didn't know what it was going to be like. Now he knows.
He's not going to stay away. Wilder had a lot more reach on it than Andy Ruiz for a start. And I'm just convinced. I'm convinced Wilder lands that shot if he fights like Joshua has to. He has to get into a fight with Wilder in the pocket where Wilder's not dangerous.
Exactly.
At that range from him, you rough him up. Tell you what, Joshua's quite sharp with his inside work, but like I said, it just didn't work against Ruiz because he's a very good inside fighter. So he had to fight like that tonight. But next time against Wilder could be a lot different.
It sucks to back jab down. By the way, I don't know if you guys who fought.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, because we're talking all over each other. First of all, that's okay. Okay, first of all, caller from 702. Thank you for calling in, and call back the next time. All right.
I appreciate it, man. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Catch you on the next one.
All right.
Thanks for the call, brother.
By the way, G Boogie, I'm gonna invite you to the Discord. All right, so you can, because it's getting a little out of hand here with so many phone calls here. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm gonna send you the invite. All right. I'm gonna hang up here.
All right.
Oops. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna send G Boogie the invite if I can find him here. Oh, there he is. Okay, yep. So guys, it seems to me like some of you guys are impressed, or at least happy with the way that Joshua was able to sustain his pace, control the pace, control the rhythm, jab, and he seemed a little shaky, but he got out of it. So what does this mean for a potential Wilder fight? I mean, I know it's completely different styles, but Wilder does hit hard, and he does have everybody on the edge whenever they step in the ring with him. So how do you guys, does this change your view of the fight? Do you keep the same view?
Yes.
You let me know.
For me, it does. It does for me a little, because I think this style, this beat. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to talk.
Go on, Jimmy. I've got a delay, brother. Go ahead, man.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, I'll do it real quick for you, Stu. It's so much. Some people are going to probably think this sounds stupid because it's a little guy, but to jab down is so much harder and takes more actually steam off it and your accuracy, everything. Why do you think when Mayweather and those really, they'll keep that left hand down low and they pop it up from the hip, they shoot it from below? Because when you throw a jab upwards, it's just easier. And I'm telling you right now, he'll be more effective with the jab against Wilder than he was against Ruiz. That's just my opinion. If he sticks that jab and stays on his toes, he could make it a rough night.
It's hard to snap the jab out when you're punching down.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah, you can, when you're punching up, you can just flick it out, snap it with a bit of. When you're punching down, it's very hard to punch down anyway. I mean,
thanks for you. That's a good description. Snap it up. Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, but I think what we've seen is with Joshua, we saw something tonight that I just didn't think he had in him. I never thought that I could see him on his feet like that for 12 rounds and still looking quite fresh at the end. I think he could have gone another 3 or 4. He didn't look like he was blown at all. That impressed me.
No, he was crushed. Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was muted.
Yeah. Carry on. But what impressed me as well was how patient he was.
Yeah, I think it's still a very interesting fight.
He went a couple of rounds. Sorry, Gonzalo. 1 second. He went a couple of rounds where, like I said, he was jumping into the clinch and getting caught, and he realised that was costing him, and he stopped doing it. Because you have to punch your way out of Ruiz. You can't just jump into him and hold him because he's so strong. You have to punch him and then get out of there. You can't be just jumping into a hold. So I thought it was the way he was learning on the job as well. Just the boxing IQ's just gone up a level for me. I didn't think he had this sort of performance in him, and the fitness and the shape he was in was very impressive as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that we don't know if Wilder will win on February the 22nd, or Fury, or if even that fight will take place. But if that fight falls off and they're looking for unification, this fight can replace that one. And if not, even if Wilder lost, it'd still be an interesting fight. But if they were willing to get past the whole AB side thing, because you got to realize that Joshua's the one bringing in the money.
Gonzalo, if Ruiz, excuse me, if Wilder was to lose to Fury and he fought AJ, the best way that AJ can win that fight against that one-hit quitter is he have to fight Wilder like he fought, what's the guy that said, I walk the earth like a god. That's how AJ got to fight Wilder in order to win.
Charles Martin.
Yeah, Charles Martin. Yeah, that dude.
Okay, yeah, the legend, of course. How could I have
Any
forgotten?
advice of Charles Martin, you'll just get knocked the fuck out like he did.
No, but you know what?
Well,
Can I just say something real quick, because we got a lot of people watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, spread the BDA gospel, and don't forget we also have a secondary channel, BDA Live. That's where we hold our film analysis, and you can catch them there. Don't forget to join the Discord and the Second Renaissance, which is a non-boxing channel, which is highly entertaining because we talk about things that are not just related to boxing; it's everything. But speaking of that, the Wilder thing, the AJ Wilder, it seems to me that Wilder can actually counterpunch a little better now, and that spells danger for everybody. What do you guys think about that? Has he improved his counterpunching, or is it just my imagination?
Who's that?
I don't think his counterpunching was great tonight. I don't think he really countered that often. To me, I think the left hook he countered a few times. The left hook, but he was the one leading with the shots half the time.
No, I'm talking about Wilder. Stu, I'm talking about Wilder.
But Wilder's
because he did catch Ruiz in the rematch in between punches, I believe, and it seems to me like he's.
No, he didn't.
No, all right.
It's because he utilizes it as a rangefinder.
Ruiz had his guard up, and Wilder punched through the guard, hit him on the forehead, and well, you see what happened. I mean, like I said, Wilder didn't throw any punches all night, so how can we say he threw counter shots? He threw one shot all night, really, that landed properly, and well, we saw what happened when it did land. But
the thing Stu, that he uses it to parry down the other opponent's jab. He parries it down, and he uses it to like hook you it and hold you in position while he looks to land that right hand. I've seen those little nuances that he uses.
Yeah, but he might do that, but he didn't do that against Ortiz. He didn't do anything.
He didn't do nothing against Ortiz. He basically waited for Ortiz to slip and he shoot that straight right hand because Ortiz was keeping his defense a little bit open from what I saw when he landed it. You know, he kept his left hand down a little bit. He tried to bring it up when Wilder already fired it, and he can't do that against Wilder because
it just goes to show Wilder. My problem with him was that should have happened sooner. I thought honestly that night, for knowing what happened in the last fight, knowing that this kid is a one-shot hitter, I thought Ruiz Ortiz that night again was a defensive mess. I thought he did all kinds of stupid shit. Just a good boxer, a good counterpuncher would have fucking slept him. He would drop one hand when he would throw it. He just did so many things that left himself. It's just a good, cerebral fighter would have taken him out sooner. Like you said, he just waited for him when he was just upright in the most perfect position for the right hand. But if you watch that fight from the beginning, Ortiz, I kept going, I kept expecting him to get caught but Wilder wouldn't throw because he made himself wide open. Right? You know what I mean?
I was calling it, and he was walking to his right side. To his,
he was walking into his right side. He was doing all kinds of stupid shit. You know what it is? Wilder doesn't know how to set a trap. He fights completely instinctively. He fights whatever's happening in front of him. He doesn't think like Lomachenko's setting traps. He fails you out. Okay, he timed you now. Now I know you do this when you do that with your left shoulder. Okay, so I'm going to work you to this corner. You know what I mean? Everything's that he's setting you up. I'm going to throw this to make you do that, and then I'm going to catch you with this. And it's playing over his head. As you know, he's setting traps. He's watching the way you move your feet. Wilder's just saying, okay, all right, here we go. Where's my shot? Where's my shot? I'm telling you, just seeing the way he's moving.
Yeah, it's true. You can
my thing.
Go ahead.
If he's boxing from the outside against Ruiz because he doesn't want to get clipped and he didn't engage Ruiz, how is he going to fight against Wilder to try to protect himself from the right hand? Would it be kind of a stalemate? And given if they give each other that root punch, who benefits from that?
That's a good point, man. I've always envisioned, well, not always, but ever since they started coming up in the last 3-4 years, started really stepping up, I always envisioned that Joshua Wilder fight as a bit of a fencing match. I don't expect Joshua to move around like the way he did tonight, but I do expect him to be very careful about, because let me tell you, sometimes Wilder Jimmy's right. The guy doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to set up his shots. No, despite what all his fans are trying to say that he knew he was gonna catch Ortiz eventually. I think he knows that if he catches you, he can take you out. But he's going off of instinct a lot. He's going off of natural talent and reflexes, not necessarily skill. So he'll always be dangerous. But I'm worried about what happens when he starts slowing down. Or what if one night his reflexes aren't all there, like they were against Ortiz, for example, because he said he was hurt in his eye or something. So what if he can't catch the other guy? We already saw that against Tyson Fury in the first fight. Could catch. He caught Fury twice, especially in the last round, but he couldn't put him down and out, and he should have lost that fight. But then again,
them shots AJ was throwing in the pocket tonight. They would have. Ruiz is small and it's quite hard to hit clean. Ruiz, quite a smart fight. Wilder's not in the pocket. He's going to take them shots clean. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If he gets hit with the shots that Ruiz what Ruiz got caught with tonight, then he's in all sorts of bothers. So it's who lands first with that one, really.
I'm not even joking when I say fucking Joshua can hurt Wilder with the jab. That's how good. That's how hard Joshua can jab. And if he catches him just right, it'll snap his head back. And see, Wilder looks at every fight like a street fight. Why do you think he's so and like the ref has to jump in? He's sometimes still throwing punches after the guy's fucking, the ref's waving his hands. He gets all amped up. When somebody's that amped up, they're out of control. It's like literally they get so. And there's always a question: why is that? Why is he treating a fight like that? Like a good pro, put him away. Like you're in your space. This is business. He sometimes gets too. So I think, like literally, he doesn't set traps. Never. He's not a thinker. He's not in there doing anything like that. And if Joshua just jabs and catches him, sets him up, because Wilder's very predictive of what he's doing. He did look a little better with what I understand what Bucho was saying. That right hand was pretty sharp. He threw it pretty straight. He tried that. He wasn't as looping this time. But also, I was told that he was working with somebody to try to get off his loops. They were really paying attention to that in the last couple of camps.
Is that the shot that split the eye out?
Yeah, well, the looping punches that blow his hands out, he keeps breaking his hands on those looping punches. There's, the windmill punches. They've been working really intensely on that.
Wilder again.
Wilder, yeah.
I still think he will do it. I still think he will do it if he gets in trouble, because he got a Wilder guy. He can't. I don't think he will be able to if Joshua lay ones in him. And Wilder probably hits harder than Joshua, but Joshua's still a massive puncher himself because of his stature.
Them shots he landed on Ruiz were monster punches. It just shows you how tough Ruiz is. Wilder's not taking them shots. And like I said, Ruiz is very smart, very hard to hit clean, Ruiz, because he's obviously he knows how to pull back and counter. He knows how to his head movement was poor tonight, but usually he's quite hard to hit clean. And he's a very difficult fight for anyone. So Wilder's not got them skills in the pocket. Wilder's good at range.
How many times has he been stopped? He was stopped 4 times in the amateurs, right? Knocked down multiple times.
So, well, listen,
just a heavy butterball dude.
Well, people keep pointing out to that fight, and obviously Wilder has improved, but the question remains: can he handle a punch? Now, I will say this about Wilder. For everybody in the chat room, check out the BDA Live where we've had some film analysis about Wilder. I did one prior to the Fury fight where I show you what makes Wilder so tricky and so difficult to fight. There's also another film analysis here on this channel, BDA. And also, by the way, check out Recognize the Matrix channel and Gonzalo's channel on YouTube. They got channels as well. And before we continue, I see we got somebody else on the panel here just came in.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear. She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do. Your punishment must be more severe. I lost respect for all of you.
Bitches are stupid. I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
All right, Apology, are you there?
What's up? What's going on, gents?
Good to have you on board, man. Wild night.
What's up, Apology? What's up?
Listen, it's been a wild night, Apology. I'm pretty sure you're at the gym right now, or just finished going to the gym, sniffing some seats there.
Yeah.
Did you catch the fight, or?
Caught highlights. I didn't catch the full fight, but Joshua just did what he was supposed to do in the first fight. Really, he got the job done.
He goes to the gym where Joshua fights. What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Well, I can either watch Joshua or become Joshua.
You're becoming Anthony Joshua during the first Ruiz fight. You are.
Yeah. I can either watch Joshua or become him. I prefer to become him.
What do you think of the performance?
Earlier.
What do you think of the performance? Oh no, you haven't seen it, have you?
No, he saw highlights.
Only the highlights. Joshua looked pretty sharp.
Apology, man. Why did you come here for if you didn't watch the fight?
You're here because you got nothing. You got nothing. And if you were a man, you would have done it now. You don't got a thing.
For what I've seen, Joshua did look sharp. You know, he looked a lot better. He looked a lot calmer as well. You could see in his eyes, his stature, his posture. He looked good. And Ruiz didn't look as good in the first fight. But what chin Ruiz has, man. I know Joshua's not like the biggest heavyweight punch in the world, but you know, if you get hit with those shots, usually people will go down.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua hits hard enough. Joshua knocked out.
Yeah, definitely.
Joshua stopped Vlad. Josh is.
He did.
He's a big puncher, man. Trust me. It's just Ruiz has got a ridiculous chin.
You know what? That's a good point that you guys bring up because they made it out to be now as if Joshua, especially after the Parker fight, because he couldn't stop him. Some people are making it out to be as if the guy can't punch, but let's not forget, like you guys are saying, he stopped Klitschko. He did drop Ruiz bad, and we all know Ruiz has a good chin after tonight's rematch where we saw him take some bumps.
Stop knock Dillian White out as well. No one else has done that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was brutal. That was brutal. He was hanging on the ropes, breathing heavy.
I look at it like this: what Mexican fighter don't have a chin?
Wait, there has to be one. Hold on. No, there has been one. The guy that got knocked out by Charlo. What's his name?
El Demonio Cota.
Yeah, I think. No, wait.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
Jorge El Demonio Cota.
Okay, so that's a rare occasion.
And when it happens, they make them drown themselves or something?
Why? What? What are you talking
about? Is that the punishment? Is that the punishment for being weak in Mexico, BDA?
Yeah, no, that's Mexicans. That's the hubris, man. They fucking.
It's fake news, man.
I must inject plaster in my chins or something, man.
That's what I mean. Most Mexican fighters have chins, bro. And even in the wars with Puerto Rican fighters and Mexican fighters, that's why they make so good ass fucking fights, because they relentless. They I just don't know how to say it. It's not being racial or so people don't take it out of content. It's just that Mexican fighters do have chin, and you willing to break your hand on the man's face. That's what you got to do.
And there's some ethnic tropes that are just true because that's the reason why they're there. You know what I mean? Mexicans have always been. Mickey Ward told me himself. He said, "Dude, I hate fighting Mexicans. You can beat them motherfuckers like rented mules.
Oh, what a racist!
Don't stop.
What a racist! What a racist!
You have to fight. You have to fight on the back foot against them. Let's be real, and you have to do what Floyd do against them. Stink the joint out and pop shot your way to a points win. That's basically what you got to do with me. What's the point going trading with a guy that's got a granite chin and throws punches for days? It's not going to be horrible.
What else?
Well, hold on, Jimmy. Just one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before apology goes on, Jimmy. Next time you see Mickey Ward, tell him BDA called him a racist. All right, for what he said about Mexicans. Just tell him that. Let him know I said that. All right.
I will, sure.
Another thing about Mexicans, they have heart as well. It's all good having a good chin, but if you quit like Chavez Jr., then what's the point of having a good chin then?
Oh, wait a minute.
You don't have a good heart.
Wait a minute.
He quit. He's a quitter. You know, other Mexicans fight through the pain, fight through big shots. You know, Strada, for example, in the Gonzalez fight, he was taking some hellacious shots and still fought on. But if you don't have the heart in you, then you just quit. It doesn't matter how good your chin is.
Yeah, but
Canelo Alvarez has got granite chin as well. It's like
he does.
I think he's
I don't like him at all.
The ginger thing too, though. I'm telling you, gingers have that fucking Todd strength.
I don't like Canelo either, but he does have a good chin.
Side of him.
Remember Librado Andrade's chin, BDA?
Oh yeah. Ooh, he took some punishment from Kessler and never stopped coming. And Kessler was a good puncher, man. I mean, yeah, you know what, guys? It's interesting we talk about that chin because it's about a mentality too. With that's what I asked.
Definitely.
And I asked Andrade that, and I asked. You can have a guy had the fastest hands. He can look sharp as hell on the mitts. Coming up against tomato cans, he can lay him out. But if he meets a guy, Recognize talked about that. He never actually told the story on the air. He'll tell it on the air one day. But when there's guys you meet out there, you hit them with everything you've got, and they keep coming. And we're talking street fights here. That can be a little scary if you're not prepared for it mentally. That you hit a guy with your best shot, and he keeps coming. You have to have the fortitude yourself to stay in there and know that you can break him down. Because if you don't, that's when you melt. And that's how we've seen certain prospects.
That can make you tired as well. Like mentally, you're just shot.
That's how I used to fight back in the amateur. When somebody go to hit me and I felt this punch, I'm not going to let him know, but I'm going to go ahead and try to knock his head off. Every time he hit me hard, I'll hit him harder. Every time he hit me again, I'm going to hit him harder until one of us is going down because I'm going to go on my shield.
That's a good mentality to have. Yeah, more people should have that mentality. Especially boxers.
You can hit him, but you can't move him. I was going to say, BDA, to your point about Wilder and Joshua, not to change the subject, but when you were speaking about that, if Joshua's knocking guys out to the forehead, if Wilder is knocking guys out to the and Joshua took that punch from Ruiz to the temple, who's to say that if Wilder hits Joshua any other place in the chin, like on the top of the head, he can hurt him as well?
Hey, listen, I've said it before, man. I've said it. Wilder, if he hits you on the forehead, on the temple, on the chin, on the solar plexus, whatever, you are going down. That right hand is unnaturally powerful. But now the question is, can he land?
It's got to be like time. You know what I mean? It's the long range missile. It's not like in close a 6-inch punch. It's at range. It's at the end of the punch. You know what I mean? So if you just know that, you just try to make sure like that's got to be Joshua's aim plan. He's either got to be in his wheelhouse, which is in closer, or he's got to be farther out. You know what I mean? And he's got to frustrate him. He's got to hit him after the punch. You got to get in his head. You got to get him thinking.
Spilka took a mid-range punch from Wilder from that when he tried to throw that punch, and Wilder threw it.
Spilka ran onto
it. Yeah, he did. I was about to say that.
No wonder he was sleeping for a week after that. Fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not comparing. I'm just saying that Wilder. I understand that Spilka got caught with that, but he threw that from mid-range. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. That's true, man. And listen, Spilka, he ran into that punch. But then again, he can't fucking put a light bulb on either, speaking to that stereotype of his country. But he did what he had to do with feints. And that's why I didn't like in this fight. Joshua started out with the feints, and then he abandoned them. I wanted to see more feints. And from Ruiz, too. I can't... Yeah.
BDA, try throwing feints against not a fighter for a round. That tires you out as well as them.
I can do it easy.
It's very tiresome to throw feints.
I can do it easy.
I'm telling you, he's right, dude. That's why the thing I'm always most impressed about Lomachenko is how long he keeps
fighting. Exactly.
Because it tires me. I hate feinting because it does take it's like throwing a punch and missing it. You know what I mean? It does take a lot out of you.
That's what Lomachenko does. Usic's the same. They just put it on you mentally, where you're constantly thinking because the feints are there. One mistake, you get punished. So you constantly and mentally it drains you, and it gets to the stage where you're so confused what to do. You do nothing.
Yeah,
exactly. No, you're right, dude.
Is because his ability and he keeps himself conditioned, especially with his mental. But his physical is also. That's why he can master the feint and not use too much effort into it.
That's what. Yeah,
because if you don't bite,
if
you don't bite on the feint, he's gonna throw a punch. He sees your reaction, so it can actually be a feint to where he does throw it if he sees you're not biting on.
Everything he does,
you are biting on.
Lomachenko also
for a reason.
Yeah, Lomachenko also moves around his head, manipulates his guards, throws pat punches to open you up. Those take a lot of energy out of you, but yet you still can do it consistently because he's conditioned.
You know what would drive me craziest?
The thing with Lomachenko, right? He realizes when his boxing skills are not actually working. There's times in there where he's fighting bigger guys with long reach that throw nice straight punches. Pedraza was one, Linares another, and he realized that he had to take it inside. So instead of boxing on the outside, he stepped in the pocket and started letting the uppercuts to the body go. And as soon as he does that, I think he's a much better fighter when he's in the pocket.
I agree with you.
I prefer him to that than being in the matrix on the back foot. I prefer him in the pocket. As soon as he steps on the gas, he does that. They fall apart.
He has a mean streak in him as well. Like he can do that.
I don't understand why he don't do it more. He lets himself get behind on cards in some people's eyes when he should be miles ahead. But as soon as he steps on the gas, gets in the pocket, and lets his hands go, they fall apart. Do it more.
You know what he does that? In my opinion, real quick, Gonzalo, I think he's like a perfectionist. He wants to set up every punch to be perfect. So he doesn't just want to walk in and take a shot to give a shot. He wants everything to be perfect. So he'll throw a feint. If he doesn't see a perfect opening, he won't take it.
Everything from his footwork, he wants everything to be perfect. He knows and he knows his father. They watch all the tapes. They break everything down. He questions everything.
Lomachenko is a Da Vinci of painting in boxing.
Yeah, like the feint will cause. I was gonna say the feint causes he's trying to get a reaction, and when he gets that reaction, that he's gonna want to get the upper hand on that reaction and basically implement his boxing. And every reaction after that, he wants to be one step ahead.
You know what?
I was gonna say real quick. You know that powering up and down with his left hand, how he goes up and down with it.
Yeah.
In between that would drive me fucking crazy. I'm telling you, it's wicked, dude. Listen, because I usually focus. I'll look at the dudes. I just tend to look right around his collarbone, his jaw. You know what I mean? You don't want to look at one thing because you just want to, and or his eyes. Depends on what type of fighter he is. But that hand wave fucked me. Yeah, I try. Well, I try to look up. Yeah, they tell you around the middle of the chest to throw it. But for me, my personal thing was that I would just tended to go a little higher. But that hand waving would drive me fucking bonkers.
Hey, you know what, guys? You guys are talking about like a snake.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you're talking about perfection and how Lomachenko's Papachenko really drilled all of that into Vasyl Lomachenko. But let's not forget also the other star of the family. We're talking about perfection, not quite perfection, but what about Lomachenko's sister? Yeah. As you can see, I'm putting her up there.
Here we go again.
I'm just saying.
Real big part there.
Is she right? Does he have a sister?
Do you know? Do you know the rendition of Venus? They have a statue of her. That's Lomachenko's sister.
Well, come on. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. She's pretty beautiful, but you gotta keep it. You gotta keep women off the pedestal, man. And let's.
It's a bit like Anna Kournikova a little bit.
Yeah,
wasn't his mother an athlete too? Because the father was always been. His father's been in like what?
His sister looked like a hag. That's going off of BDA what he said.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Jimmy, I think the family are gymnasts or something like that because their sister's a gymnast.
Oh, that means fucking gymnast, fucking best asses.
I feel like Papachenko's in the closet listening to everything we're saying inside that room.
Well, listen. He can't stop Mr. BDA, man. I know how to get these women. All right, I can make him part of. I can make him part of the BDA company, if you know what I mean. They'll be working the streets in no time. But listen, the point is this: we were talking about
BDA.
Yeah.
What do you think about?
Sorry, you cut off there, Gonzalo. About who?
Where he actually throws a punch like the last one he threw, where it was kind of going downstairs, but he brought it up. The end. Remember that?
Who are you talking about? You cut off.
Canelo
about the greatest fighter that ever lived, Canelo.
But you know what? Hey, Bucho.
He throws in feints, right? He actually throws a punch where it's leaning one direction, but he brings it up.
Yeah.
The punch he landed against Kohler.
Because what he does is he leads to the body sometimes, and then he'll come upstairs when you think he's going downstairs. Here's the thing, and I can't stress it enough: feints. You look at the best guys, the guys who were always consistent, even when they were in their late 30s. Juan Manuel Marquez, Floyd Mayweather, Now you get Canelo doing it, being consistent every fight. Lomachenko, what do they all have in common? The feints. You don't know where the shots are coming from. Not only that, they can lead with right hands, they can lead with left hooks, they can lead with jabs to the body. So that with the feints, it just throws you off for a loop. It's information overload. And that's what a lot of these guys don't get. I know it's hard to do, and it's easy to say, oh, they should feint more. But if you just drill that stuff in the shadow boxing, and then in the mitts, and then in the sparring, chances are you're going to be able to translate that into a fight and get good results. But for some reason, most guys, they just don't like feinting.
No, most guys are not conditioned either. They need to work on their conditioning and their cardio. That's why they can't feint.
Gonzalez just brought up Kovalev. I wanted to tell you guys something. I haven't confirmed it yet, but from who's told me is a pretty good source. So I'm going to try to check it. If I catch it from somebody else, different side of the country, if they've heard the same thing, that's how I do it before I even bring it up. But just kind of odd that I was just told the other day he might end up needing. He might have tore ligaments up in his left or his right ankle. Either one. When he went down, he did supposedly ligament damage, and he might need surgery. Not even know whether if he was going to fight again. But
it's hard faking a knockout, man. You start breaking stuff.
I'll tell you what, he doesn't beat any of them light heavyweights at the moment. Kovalev, not the big ones, not the he doesn't beat Beterbiev. He doesn't beat Bill.
Oh, he should retire. All the rumors of his jaw being gone, like there was rumors of him just folding, and
even Vodzik beats him. Vodzik beats him.
I think so, because Kovalev is destroyed his body with alcohol.
But nobody beats Canelo.
No, but hold on a second. I think you guys are. Bivol is a very hard nut to crack, but Kovalev still has those skills, man. I mean, let's not make it out to be as if he's a bum. His chin might be.
He's not a bum, but he's not going to cope with them guys now, mate. You can tell. He just didn't have. He just doesn't have a nerve anymore. Canelo was walking through the guy. Man. Canelo's like a middleweight, really.
Well, that would remain to be seen.
Jimmy Sources is correct. Yeah, I had a torn Achilles before, and ever since that happened, I didn't have the same movement in my ankle and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's happened to a guy in the industry I knew too. He dislocated a testicle, and he had 2 surgeries, I believe. There was two surgeries, and he came back, but he was never the same afterwards. He never got the same thrust in there because of the muscles.
Never got the same hardness like before, right?
Exactly.
The reason why I think he's going to be retired, Kovalev, is, I mean, he just made more money than, say if he wouldn't have fought Canelo, he could have fought Bivol, fucking Beterbiev, and I can't butcher that poor kid's name.
Vosnik.
And he wouldn't have, he Vosnik, thank you. He wouldn't have matched what he made in that one fight. So why carry on now? Because he's going to take a humongous pay cut now. Like, he's fucking almost 40. He's going out real quick. The next one against Beterbiev, I'd be surprised to get out of the second round.
Well, he did get a 3-deal contract. So, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, sign the contract. If maybe it might have been an incentive. I don't know if he had it, whether is it tied in whether he fights or not. So did Pacquiao too, because now take a look at that. I want to add to that real quick. I try to bring that up every time to piss everybody off. Remember when Mayweather was signed to fight with the PBC? It was like a 3 or 4 fight deal. Everybody was saying up to 5, whatever. He's only fought twice, and there's not even talk of him fighting anybody else. In fact, he's actually said he's not going to fight fucking Thurman. Now, if you're fucking Heyman, who just lost, by the way, somebody DM'd me that they figured it out, not taking in the outside money, where tops could be no more than 3.5 million. This fight, as it stands now, domestically lost $15,500,000. Wilder Ortiz too, and it's the kid's got it all broken out. He's gonna tweet it out later. He DM'd me, and I'm like, wow, he's got it all broken down. But so he paid Pacquiao's taxes to get him because he couldn't come back in the country and fight unless his taxes were paid. And I believe it was just shy under $30 million. The same, almost identical as Floyd. Neither one of them paid their taxes for that fight. Isn't that fucked up? But anyways, so there was Heyman had to go, okay, part of the deal, you're going to come with the PBC. I'll pay your taxes, and we're going to work it off each fight. Now he's only fought twice, so that's telling me he's not getting any younger. what now? He's probably told Heyman, and it's been a deal all along. Get you in a couple of times. If you win the second one, if he would have lost, I think he would end up having to fight the other welterweights. Now that he won, I'm almost guaranteeing it's going to be a Mayweather Pacquiao too, and it's just going to happen.
They're going to have to pay.
Heyman's going to
They got
assume
to pay
if
their
not.
debt. They got to pay their debt.
Heyman's going to assume if not, because Heyman's now fucking paid Floyd's taxes. Oh no, he paid that back with the
And
Conor
people
fight.
think that Heyman will sue Floyd's ass. Don't get it twisted.
Oh yeah, in a second.
He likes
in a
him,
second.
But money's money.
Hey, recognize.
He paid. He absolutely paid fucking Pacquiao's. Or whether him or an investor, but I'm sure he has investors, and somebody paid it, so he has to fight, or he's going to be sued.
I heard Mayweather wants to go. I heard Mayweather might think about switching to the zone because again, people are saying, oh, Al Heyman is a brother, so he's going to stay with the brothers. But no, apparently he wants to go with the zone. This is what Mayweather said in a special interview. It was leaked. Let's see what he had to say.
Let's go out there where the rich white folks stay. You know what I'm saying? Rob one of them.
Oh, I don't think that was actually Mayweather. I'm going to have to confirm that. But I have a question, guys.
That was him.
Yeah, it sounded just like him. Was that?
Sound just like him.
Sounded just like him.
If it's true, it kind of makes sense because he would want to outdo Canelo, Joshua, and keep saying
He's
Joshua
the old
Golovkin.
man. First of all, he's not
2-fight deal. Recognize 2-fight deal for 200,000. Being as greedy and big as his name is.
Yeah.
Did you see him in the last fight with that Teshin guy? Like, he looked slow. He was getting tagged up by Teshin before Teshin took a dive. He looked horrible.
He probably trained
even with the roids. Even with the roids, he looked horrible. He looked slow. He did like he wanted to be there. He did
legs are not there. Apology. His legs are not there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about apology because he KO'd him pretty spectacularly. But most of all, he looked like a bully. The way he was sneering kind of pissed me off because the other guy was a small guy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about before the knockout. He looked slow. He was getting hit. Like, nah.
Yeah. Well, if the legs are the first to go, punch last, I would favor Pacquiao over him because this guy's 43.
Hey, listen, we've talked about Mayweather. We're gonna save that for another episode because I wanted to ask you guys before we go. We've been on for a little while. We haven't even talked about there's a couple of fights tonight. It didn't just end with Ruiz versus Joshua. All right, who's wiping their asses there in the background? We have Emmanuel Navarrete, one of my favorite guys to watch on the radar. Was that? Somebody said something. Anyway.
I was just saying that is official in the chat because he likes being in the bathroom.
Well, they're giving those Charlo tickets away right now. Seriously, anybody, if you get down to fucking Barclays, it's not even an admission now. They're just handing.
Oh, it's in Barclays, right? I can
can't even on UK TV. I've got to subscribe to some channel, pay for it. Fuck out of here, I'm paying for
it. Hey, listen, it's first of all, forget about the ESPN card because I would rather watch the PBC one. It's a pretty good card, man. You got Charlo versus Hogan. I think that's an intriguing fight. And then on the undercard, Chris Eubank taking on Kovrov. Guys, this is a good little card.
It's a good card, but it should be pay-per-view in the UK, man. What's that about?
Well, in the UK.
Insane.
Hey, by the way,
it's a premium channel sort of thing where you have to pay for the channel, you have to buy a month's subscription. All right, I don't know what it is, about 12, 13 quid or something, but I don't want to pay for that. I just paid for Joshua tonight. What am I going to pay for that as well?
Tomorrow morning on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll watch it tonight on a free stream. Fuck it.
Right.
Wait. We have to say we don't condone watching fights out of school. We don't condone pirating. That's not the BDA way.
We support boxing.
That's right. Let me just box.
Hey, listen, I spent my £30 tonight. That cost me £30 that Joshua fight. So I spent my money.
Did it really?
They don't have the zone over there.
No. Sky Sports, they've got a contract with DAZN where DAZN won't interfere with.
It is in the communist UK.
Dude, are you serious? That's terrible.
Yeah, in the UK. Yeah,
you guys get the UK.
Yeah, Sky runs UK.
Man, you guys really get fucked.
Sky runs UK. Got it in the lot.
Jimmy, what's going on in the UK is nothing compared to what I had to go through here in Canada. Whenever Gatti would fight on HBO, it was HBO over there in the United States. Here you had to pay pay-per-view. And by the way, who's whining in the background? Please, Mike?
Sound like a baby deer. Yeah, like a deer or something.
That's all
No,
that closing the
that
door.
was my wife. My wife came back from Bible study. She closed the squeaky door. A
Ah,
squeaky
okay,
door
okay,
from
okay.
the hinges was. Yeah.
That's okay.
Your
That's all
wife
right.
came in to beat your ass. Squeaky door.
Dude, break out the WD-40 kid.
Hey, by the way,
kid got ran over.
Yeah, I had to say, be quiet, because he'll start speaking Filipino. But then we got the door hinges.
hey, by the way, you got a question for Stu, right?
Were you popping the roofies, the Rohypnol, benzodiazepine 2 milligrams, or the?
That was epic.
The way you said it so fast there, Gonzalo, it's like I can't even remember the names of that, and you just rolled it off.
Those were all benzodiazepines, right?
Those are roofies.
Those are all.
TJ,
There's
back in the
all
day.
amphetamines. There's all amphetamines.
Well, the true roofie.
Gonzalo's going on like as fucking Kurt Cobain or something.
Well, the true roofie is the liquid GHB, gamma hydroxybutanol. That just takes 2 eye drops, or you put it in a Visine bottle, and you go to a girl's drink as you talk and lean over. That's where, as bouncers, we used to have to watch because I was a bouncer. We'd see if you see a kid break out Visine.
Thank God you said that at the end, Jim.
What's
Thank
that?
God you said the last bit. Thank God you said the last bit. Like
No, they do. We had a guy come in and show it. Dude, it's
you did it yourself.
There was dudes who had it in their watches, bro. They would have in their watches. They would put GHB, and they would put just a hand over, and they would have a ball
That's
in their
insane.
hand, and they would squeeze it, and the stuff would drip out of their watch in 2 eye drops. So, because I did it, I took a few. It was GHB. It got you fucked up. It was a pretty good high, but if you took just that little too much, you're out like a light, dude. I woke up at an intersection with 2 pounds of weed in my back seat, out cold and drive because I took just a little bit too much. With a Burlington cop tapping on the window. What happened? Hey, what's going on? You having a heart attack? I'm like, no, I'm tired. And I still got away. I couldn't believe the car reeked. But anyways, yeah, no, GHBs. I had my
That's why
time
children, they're
don't do it, GHB. But that's the true roofie shit. That
Stay
liquid,
away
it's
from
dangerous.
drugs.
Yeah, and it's so easy to get into girls' drinks, and it's and you know what's dangerous about it? It turns the carbon dioxide in your body, so within 12 hours they can't even fucking trace it.
Oh, he's down. Yes.
Yeah, it's true, man. That's
That's what they said to Jimmy after he took the roofies.
Yeah, exactly. He's down.
Oh, he's down. Yes.
You were down, Jimmy.
But the roofies, the pills, if you do a pill too, the reason why most people don't do that, it leaves a film in the bottom. Even if a girl's fucked up, she might notice. Plus, it's fizzling like a fucking something fizzling in the back of this, But so yeah, that's roofies, man. Is the good stuff. It's the liquid G. That'll put somebody out if you want. Not even a girl. If you just want to put somebody out to get them somewhere into a basement to talk to them.
But wait a minute. How does that even work? Let's say you drug a woman.
Are you the guy that poisoned the Russian in London or something?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All it takes women, guys. I can't stress this enough. I can get it still from Florida, and I'm telling you, 2 liquid eye drops, 2 drips in a drink. The dude will be talking to you, and he'll start to sweat, and he'll say, and he'll yawn a couple of times, and then boom, he's out. You probably got 4 hours. He's not. I mean, I'm telling you, can throw him down a flight of stairs. This motherfucker won't wake up.
Yeah,
Nah,
be
man,
careful, Jimmy, because the dude's gonna be listening.
Yeah, right. And I wake up in a basement, dude. He'll be wearing fucking. He'll have his junk tucked between his legs, dancing. It's on the lotion.
Anytime. I got
If you feel a prick in your leg or something, you see Jimmy nearby, be worried, be very fucking worried.
The white boy puts on the lotion.
Jimmy, what's the white supremacist?
What's that movie with Bruce Willis that was in it and they took him to the basement?
Yeah,
You guys got it all wrong.
and every basement got what you need. A metal folding chair. You put the feet in water and then take a plug out of the wall from a light and just touch the end of the sack or around their shoulders, anywhere with their feet in there. Woo! They will tell you everything.
You've been watching Bacon.
Listen to all these white supremacists talk about poisoning.
But you know what?
He's a real leather face, Jim.
Nah, we put up the disclaimer and recognize he's doing his impression there. Yeah.
You can do all the disclaimers you want, but I still got proof.
Speaking of drugs, Jimmy, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's your opinion on GW?
GW? Now, what's the
Psalm? What's it called? Cardoin?
That's the thing that Gerald Miller got busted with.
I'm not too familiar. I'd have to look up. Maybe I misunderstand what you're saying. GW? Is it a PED? Is it a?
It's a psalm.
Body
It's
drug?
a psalm. No, it's a psalm.
Are you saying song? SONG?
No, SARM. Psalm.
Psalm. No, I'm gonna look that up now. I'm curious. I'll get back on it.
How did we get on from talking about fucking?
Oh, when somebody mentioned roofies, I was saying just yeah.
I heard this one of the safest like PEDs you can.
All right. First of all, again, yeah. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I was gonna say there's no really safe ones, and if you're gonna take them, don't fuck around. Just take them. You know what I mean? Don't fuck around with that bullshit. Just, you know what I mean? Take them. There's no safe one. One's gonna either drop your balls away. One's gonna take your hair away. One's gonna give you puffy tits. There's always a side effect. Well, that's what the testosterones, but you know the weight cutting ones are still gonna have side effects. They're hard on the liver, like the best of halotestin. It gives you that restless strength, but it's
the research I've done. They said it has no like effects on your liver or doesn't like drop your testosterone for what the research I've done. So
wait a minute.
That's what BDA. Can I say something?
Yeah, let me just ask something. Yeah, I just want to ask something real quick. Jimmy mentioned puffy tits. Is that a bad side effect now, having puffy tits?
Yes.
For steroids, absolutely. Biggest number one side effect of steroids is male gynecomastia.
You imagine you go into a gym and they refer to you. You being hey, puffy tits.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude, I've seen fucking no bullshit. I've seen guys that fucking. I'm not even joking. My hand to God, my father, may he rest in peace. Dude's nipples leak. Leak right through their gym shirt. Dude, I'm talking jacked motherfuckers. Jacked. And their fucking they would leak and they'd be on so much shit.
There used to be a guy that I know definitely was on roids, Jimmy.
Lactating, exactly.
There was this guy in my gym that I know definitely was on roids. So he was always bench pressing. And this motherfucker would he would wear a shirt, but there would be a spot right by his nipple. And it's always when he was bench pressing. And it's like he sweated right in that little nipple part. And I'm wondering if he was just leaking. And
probably leaking. Yeah,
and
no, it's very common.
He would scream like this. Ah!
And then he was
Dudes who take a lot of testosterones, you know what I mean, suspensions, fucking anidate, citronate, and they don't take any Clomid, they don't turn their nuts back on, they don't cycle off it. And what ends up happening, if you constantly stay on it, it just for everything there's a yin, there's a yang. You take on testosterone, your body instantly, naturally produces more estrogen to combat it. Where does estrogen deposit? It deposits in your nipples. There's no doubt in my mind, Errol Spencer's been taking steroids for years. He's got bitch tit because again, if it does happen to kids naturally, it's one in I think it's a crazy, very rarity. And when it does, it's usually fat, chubby kids who kind of have low T, and because they have low T, the estrogen becomes positive, and that's why they're the chubby kids and they look like they have titties. It's because they have estrogen. It very seldom happens to natural, athletically built kids like that. That's almost a doesn't.
Jimmy, it's called Cardarine, the one I'm referring to. Cardarine.
Cardarine, no, I'm not familiar with that.
Take roids.
That's why.
Apology.
Huh?
Take roids.
Not at the moment, but I'm thinking about it.
Really?
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
Well, the research I've done, this is the safest one. And,
listen, dude, if you're gonna do it, dude, go get blood work first off. Go get blood work from your doctor. Tell him what you're gonna do. Don't lie to him. Say I'm gonna fucking take a cycle. Okay. Some doctors even cool might even get you the real shit. The biggest problem you're gonna run into, I'm gonna straight up tell you now, is counterfeits. That's the biggest problem you're going to come across is just making sure you get real shit. But make sure a lot of people make the mistake. They get the first stuff they get and they start taking it before they get the stuff they need. Get you everything together, write it out how you're going to take it, and make sure you take Clomid at the end. So as long as you turn your nuts back on, you won't have to go through that 6 week. You want to throw your head through a wall. You're depressed. You want to get out of bed. Your muscles. So there's different things, but I can even talk to you off the side on that. If you ever tell me what you got, I'll tell you the best way to.
Why would anyone want to put themselves through that?
I tell people not to, but if they're gonna take it, I'll tell them the right way to take it. So they don't hurt themselves.
That's the best way, Jimmy. You spot on. But I'm saying, in general, why would anyone want to do that to them? Because that stuff affects you in the long run. Especially you're gonna have to take testosterone tablets for the fucking rest of your life.
Absolutely, it was the cause of ruination of my life, without a doubt. When I was, I ended up costing my marriage, everything, dude. Yeah, everything over that because how I was built. Like even in that picture, it looks like I'm kind of big there, but at one point, dude, I had a 29-inch waist and a 54-inch back. 21-inch arm. Dude, I was one of those dudes. I honestly, like, people would say I look like Lee Priest when I walk down the beach, dude. Like I was a freak. I was one of those people that point, oh, look at this douche. It was to the point where I'm dead serious. It was to the point where I had women. It got to the point where women started finding it unattractive. Like you only got selective few of gym rat chicks and club bitches and strippers. Like when normal women look at it and go, it's too much. I got way past that.
You look like Lou Ferrigno. Looking like Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, when guys come up to you in a club and go, Jesus Christ, dude, how much could you bench? That was the worst. I was like,
and you're only like 5'8", right, Jimmy? To where those
I was
guys
but I was 5'8", and the heaviest I was at 2% body fat was 212.
Because all those guys that are like big into weightlifting, they're not that tall, right?
Well, it depends. No, there's some guys who get big. It's just easier to put. But the big guys, like I think my all-time favorite bodybuilder was Flex Haney, a black guy. I mean, Flex Wheeler, a black guy from the South.
Yeah,
that guy was insane.
Flex Wheeler, yeah.
Dude, he was insane. He was a perp. He was just. The guy was a black belt. He could do full splits, but he had such round muscle bellies.
Hey, let me ask you.
You know what?
But hold on,
Arnie was a specimen in his day. Dorian Yates,
my man, dude. Sick. One of the strongest bodybuilders I've ever seen in my life.
But wait, hold on. We got to get back to the point here. Apology. Aren't you 6'5"?
I'm 6'3".
6'3". You don't need steroids, man. You're already a tall motherfucker.
How much do you weigh, Apology?
I look skinny though. That's the thing.
How much do you weigh, Apology?
At the moment 195.
Oh yeah, you're slim for 6'3".
Yeah,
95, 6'3". Okay, now you're like Deontay Wilder then, aren't you?
Yeah, basically I have the same body type as him.
Apology. I don't know how your funds are, but if you're gonna take it, honestly, because again, steroids, you're gonna lose 80% of your gains when you get off. Even if you take the right stuff, the Clomid, the Nanodrol, everything right, you're still gonna lose most of it. So if you want to keep your gains, you take G. But if you're gonna take GH, you got to just get your blood work. Tell the doctor, be honest, say, I need a blood work, because what happens with GH or some other steroids, they exasperate. You can have dormant cancer cells, and if you take it, it's a cell like anything else. It'll grow. So you want to get your blood work done.
I'm not like thinking to take steroids. I'm more onto SARMs because I heard they're safer. But
okay, yeah. I don't know.
I'm just asking your opinion.
No, I don't know much about the legal or when I fucked around it for 12 years, but yeah, no, it becomes a psychological thing, and then you just act like a fucking douche.
You know why I know it's psychological? You know why I know it is? Because look, like I said, I've never even taken steroids, none of that stuff. I was too afraid. But when you work out a lot, when you start working out a lot and you stop, you feel like shit. Like you just have that natural feeling like, damn, I feel shit today.
Almost all you guys, I can tell by talking, are alpha males. So all you guys have been horny as motherfuckers, probably still a lot to this day. Now, at your peak, brother, right? You're producing 7 milligrams to 10 milligrams a day. A high guy will be putting down 10 milligrams a day naturally, and natural testosterone. Now, imagine taking in 2, 3, 500 extra milligrams a day of testosterone. Your fucking aggression drug, the horny drug, dude. I was a pig, dude. I was fucking everything. It was terrible. I had no fucking willpower. No, and it just, and it was terrible. And I was a slave, right? You're stupid.
You just want to fuck. Anytime you saw a bitch, you say, "I want to fuck it."
Yeah, dude, you know what?
If I was in the line in the bank, man, I just catch the fucking whiff out of like, oh shit, it was terrible.
It sounds like Jimmy.
But anyways, that's part of that. The whole aggression shit. It's just terrible.
It sounds like Jimmy was the guy that G Boogie was talking about. He's like the guys in Pulp Fiction who kept the other guys tied up in the basement. That's what it sounds to me, man.
No, it's like it fucking somebody takes your spot at the fucking mall, pulls in, like gives you the fucking attitude. You know what I mean? And that was when my wife, because she was like, don't, and I jumped out of the car. He gave me the finger as he pulled in, like he was, And I went over and he rolled his window up and he laughed at me. So I fucking headbutted his fucking window and poof, out goes his window. And I pulled him out. And I remember just started to pound on him and my watch flew off. And his friend come over and hand me my watch. Dude, is this yours? And there's my wife just standing outside the car crying. And I was like, uh-oh. And I knew that was it. That's the night she left.
Damn, I used to be like that without taking steroids.
If I would have did that, I would have fucking definitely been in jail for like a mass.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you're already naturally, I'm not like that. I'm not a naturally violent person. It takes me a lot more than someone give me the finger.
I remember one time.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't good for me.
But I think age has everything. Age, as you get older,
you calm down.
You start to mature more.
It's true.
And I couldn't handle the compliments, because I had a six-pack, and I'll tell you, women are shallow as fuck. I found that out when I was boxing in my teens. Skinny little wrestler, skinny little boxer, whatever. I could pull a chick here and there. But when I got first few years on juice and had like the 8-pack and all jacked up, walking down Miami, chicks are pigs. They cheat on
Wait a minute.
Listen, I lost so much respect. My buddy Scotty Hagan, I'll even say his name, Scotty Hagan. You guys check him out online, man. No, but he's a good dude. He's got a bodybuilding page, Scotty Hagan. He's one of my best friends. My wedding. He was Miss Teen USA. He was in Playgirl. This kid was he pulled more pussy than a guy in college. He had married women fucking out front of the house, 40-year-old women buying him $500 shirts. And it was just, I'm like, these women have no scruples. Like, you're married with 3 kids at home and you're chasing this 24-year-old kid around like a high school girl. You know what I mean? You're married to a fucking powerful lawyer for AT&T, like crazy shit. No, but it was women.
Yeah, I want to say something here because you guys are talking. Reagan has made a good point about, and listen,
amen,
I think
amen, Jimmy, amen.
No. See, I knew you were winding apology up with that whole MGTOW thing there. By the way, what was the name? Apology.
What was you saying? What was you saying about me?
Carderin, GW Carderin.
No. The guy we had on Second Renaissance. What was his name again? The MGTOW guy.
Transversable.
Yeah, we need to have him back because I remember Jimmy was there, Recognize was there, Stu was there, Precise was there, and everybody was listening to what the guy was saying. And some people think it sounds insane, but I think almost everybody was sort of agreeing with most of what he was saying regarding the nature of the female sex. So we should have another Second Renaissance talk about a little bit about.
Can I say something real quick about MGTOW?
Yes, please.
Look, I get why young guys feel that way, but here's the thing. I also think that a lot of these guys are attracting the wrong kind of girls because there are good women out there that don't get caught up in that, that bullshit of today. Mm-hmm. But what's happening is a lot of young dudes are going to universities. They're working in today's workforce where anything could be considered, fucking sexual harassment. You could look at a girl and be like, oh, he sexually harassed me, shit like that. But there are a lot of good women. I would say don't, especially if you're young, you should be thinking about procreating, like having a kid at least.
Honestly, I'm just on my road to self-actualization. I don't know what that is yet, but
how old are you, apologize?
When I find 22. When I find out,
come on, bro, you're young.
When I find that out,
actually, it's okay. It's okay for you to be MGTOW. Actually, no. This is what I would say: be MGTOW until you throw up, like until you just get tired of it.
Yeah, and self-actualization. Stop acting like you're Abraham Maslow. You go out there, slay some pussy, man. Don't bury your face in the books now.
I'm on road. I'm just trying to physically and mentally improve my body.
Oh well, there you go. That's
until it's at its peak. At its peak,
You sound like a.
I'll see what I do from there.
You sound like a.
Hey, it sounds like you sound like he's trying to become a sex machine, right?
Yeah, exactly. He sounds like he wants to become.
Not in that way. Like,
honestly, apology. All bullshit aside, even if you're a straight up atheist, even if you think religion's goofy, stupid, you want to meet a good girl, go to a place like any kind of if there's a Christian event or something.
Yes.
I'm telling you. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm being serious, too. You'll meet, there's plenty of beautiful, nice women with morals. You know what I mean? They ain't got buckets.
You'll meet a lot of freaks
on their
don't get me wrong. You'll meet a lot of freaks that just go to church because they're guilty about something, but
those are the best.
At the same time, there are a lot of good girls there.
Maybe when I'm older, but for now I'm just focused on just being as good as I can be physically and mentally.
Let me give you a bit of advice. Got 4 kids. 40 years old. Had a few women in my time.
Stu's been fucking since he was like fucking 10 years old.
Not one of them has made me happy. Every time I'm with one of these chicks, they make me a fucking living, make my life a living hell. Make me miserable. Take all my confidence away from me. Turn me into Minnie Mouse. Fuck that, man. Stay on your own. Keep your own money.
The worst, yeah, because you meet some real freaks and sometimes you meet some women that have no manners. It's like when you're getting you're in the car it's like when you're in the car getting a blowjob and your wife peeks outside of the car into the car trying to see who the guy blowing you is. I mean, come on, that's disrespectful, man. Come on, you don't do that type of stuff.
I think he's going that route.
Hey, but by the way, yeah,
going off of BDA where he said, if you meet that right girl, you know,
or that right guy.
This is how they just they don't want you to be happy.
I'm sorry, G-Bug. I didn't mean to throw you off.
They don't want you to be happy. They don't, because I got twins with this girl, right?
You gotta look at it like this, man. I've been married 25 years. I got 3 kids. Okay, I've been with the same woman. Gave me 3 beautiful kids. You got to be happy. You got to meet that person that you know that she makes you happy. No matter if you mad, she makes you happy, and you can, give the same thing to her. So right now, like I tell my youngest son is 20. My oldest son is 23 and my youngest son is 21. I tell them, I said, look, you may love your girlfriends and stuff like that, but you got to understand, you still living your life. You still got a whole life. Now, once you 30s and you got yourself situated and you got your own shit, you can have your girlfriends here and there, but, find the right one that appeals to what you want to do in your life. And that's the one that you might give a chance because she has the same objective and same thought as you do and want to do.
She might in other words, she might be just as boring as you really are.
Oh,
right. Listen,
a minute, I think. Who else dropped out? Yeah, we dropped out there for a minute, but we're back. But listen, I think it's about time to call it a day. We're gonna wanna watch the Charlo fight, maybe the Navarrete fight too. I don't know which. I'm probably gonna choose the Charlo fight. So, thank you guys for.
It's on PBC.
Well, it's PBC and there's ESPN with Navarrete fighting and Jerwin. What's his name again? Jerwin Ancajas. I don't know how you spell his name.
Ancajas, yeah.
Ancajas. Well,
and Navarrete fighting Francisco Horta.
Right. So, yeah. Oh, come on. But yeah, listen, guys, thank you for joining us. It was a great show as always. Don't forget to check out Recognize. You still making videos or?
Yeah, I'm still making videos once in a while.
All right. Well, check out Recognize channel for whenever he drops something. Link is going to be in the description.
I usually drop jewels, okay?
That's right. And sometimes you get interviews with X too, right? 100% X?
Yeah. Actually, I'm working on something with X.
Fantastic.
Me and X patched up our little beef with each other.
Well, that's
good. Recognize. Tell X he's still an asshole.
Yes, he is. He'll never change being an asshole. He is an asshole, BDA. Come on.
Nah, but I mean, I don't like the type of language. You know that. But yeah, listen, we got to do a second Renaissance because I want to talk about this freaking commercial. There was a commercial about a woman. A guy gives a woman a gift, and it's a bicycle, stationary bicycle, and it's a white couple. And the guy gives her the bike. She looks a little intimidated because she doesn't know how to use it. At the end of the commercial, she finally learns how to use it. And what do people say in the comment section? Oh, he's controlling her life. That commercial looks dystopian. That commercial, it's about a guy abusing his girlfriend and controlling her life. And I'm thinking, oh boy, we got to talk about that.
Let me tell you something. If he really wanted to do that girl a favor, he'll spit in her face and tell her, get on the floor and do me a favor. Give me a blowjob. That's what he would say.
You've been watching
Freddy fight. I was going to say, BDA, we're offline, he just said anyways, right? So we're offline. I just wanted to show you.
No, we're not offline. We're not offline. No, we're not offline. We went offline, but we're not offline now. What
okay. No, oh, shit then. All right, well, anyways, that picture there, and my emoji there, that picture, that face is blurred out because I was making a goofy-ass fucking face, so my friend wanted to send it to me in a DM, so I was like, I'm going to blur my face because I'm making... But that was me in Miami. So that was the condition I was in right there. That was when I was about 205.
Jeez. All right. Well,
so I'm gonna take it down right now. I didn't know how to post the picture, so I put it to that. But that's what I look like, fucking like 15 years ago in Miami. Youth. But yeah, so girls are sluts.
Oh, come on. Now, wait a minute. No. I'm going to put up a
Amen. Amen.
No, don't say amen to that.
Wonderful sluts everywhere.
Oh, BDA, I read this news on Google that said there's a new law in Spain that men cannot spread their legs on public transport. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, manspreading.
Men?
Yeah, manspreading. Manspreading laws. They're trying to pass them in the UK too.
What? Just
they don't want. You know what it is? They don't want our balls to breathe. That's what it is.
Yeah, basically, you're just sitting in your natural position, but if you're kind of like opening your legs.
So Spain is anti-balls, is what they're saying.
Something like that.
So if I was to wear a kilt and was in Spain in one of the cafes, and I was to inappropriately, which I didn't know, I did it. I did it by accident, and I opened my legs. No underwears on, and a couple of women.
They have pictures on the train show you how the correct way to sit.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
They'll call the cops and they'll beat you down.
This is just angry feminists going after alpha males. That's all it is. It's just fucking angry feminists looking for something to be pissed off about.
Demonizing men.
And it's fucking it's social media. It's Twitter. These fucking soft, beta male, narrow-shouldered leftist fucks wouldn't have had a voice. They were always on ignore. Where would you have seen them? Fucking social media gave a dangerous voice, and so of course they want to tear everything down. So that's what it's all about, man. Them little fucks. But anyway,
pretty soon they're gonna tell men we're gonna give you tickets if you breathe a certain way.
What if you got a boner? If I got a boner, they're gonna say, "Oh, look, you got a boner."
All right, listen. Hold on a second. This thing is going off the rails at the end here.
I gotta pee.
Guys, thank you for joining.
I gotta take a piss and shit.
No.
Because you guys are making me close my legs. It's fucking squeezing my balls, and now I gotta pee.
All right, listen. We gotta go. That's enough out of you people. This is insane. We're gonna get shut down here.
You filthy motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for backing me up on this one. All right. So listen, guys. Thank you for joining us, man. Really, I want to thank Stu who just left. I want to thank Unrival was here for a little while.
No, I'm just kidding.
I want to thank Gonzalo, G Boogie, Jimmy. Like I said, Stu recognized. Apology was here as well. My co-host Bucho came in here for a while. Thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. You guys make this show extremely entertaining to make and to listen to, obviously. So thank you guys a lot. Really appreciate it. And
did you say Jimmy's? Did you say Jimmy's like Eddie Hearns?
I said Jimmy. I didn't say Jimmy's.
I thought you said Jimmy's with an S, like Eddie Hearns.
No. I said Jimmy. All right. So again, thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Also want to thank everybody who donated via the super chat feature. Magic Man, Official Scorecard Boxing. I think it was Oliver. Some dude took away his name. I think I can't see his name.
Now, does YouTube keeps 30% of that? Everybody's donation.
I
Is
think
that how they do it?
Some sort of percentage. Yeah.
What a racket, huh?
Well, it's the 21st century, man. That's the way they do it.
So what a racket. Think about how many people are streaming all day long, and the thing's losing tens of millions every year. So their answer is to fucking keep silence and taking down pages. But anyway.
But they don't even
All right,
care.
gentlemen. You guys have a great evening.
All right, take it easy there, Jimmy.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for
Bye,
being on,
brother.
man.
Peace.
Later, James.
Peace, guys.
Thank you for being on. So, like I was saying, thank you, Gonzalo.
Hey, thank you for allowing me to participate in God Bless and Godspeed for everyone.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for your contribution and thank you for appearing on the podcast. Really appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to Magic Man, Official Scorecard Boxing, Gonzalo, Oliver Rushton, Joe Lopez, Stack Those Bananas, B Space, G Boogie, which who was just here right now, Lil Rask, Box 88, Virtuoso, Chris K, Tim Nealon, and somebody else who was, I think it was Box 88. No, who was it? Fuck, I can't see the name here. Oh, actually, I should be able to see it since it was the last person who donated. But thank you for your contribution, everybody. Really appreciate it. You guys make this show possible. You guys funded Bucho's trip to Saudi Arabia. And, of course, the phone calls. We can take phone calls thanks to you. So, shout out to everybody also in the chat room. I want to give a shout out to Michael Stott. Yeah, Michael Stott, thank you for your contribution. And he said, loss to Ruiz was the best thing that ever happened to Anthony Joshua. I told you. Well, I don't know about that then, but thank you, Michael Stott. for your contribution. Shout out to Jonathan Morrison, John Gonzalez, Pink Panther, G Boxing, Hawker Mustang, Tarvis the Chimp, Shepherd of Sons, Bay Area Boxing, Danny Armstrong, some weird Russian name in there as well, Reality's Voice, Prince Teutonic, MV, Bobby B, The Bronze Plumber, One Hitter, and many more people. Subash Kunwar was also in there as well. Shout out to everybody. If I forgot anybody, sorry. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that like button. Check out BDA Live, check out the Discord, and we'll see you on the next one, folks. Take it easy.